Hello, it's a new day in the Finn's Tailgate Party. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's a new episode of Late Night Exhale. I'm your host, Ali, and we have the infamous, the best, the man, the myth, the legend. Color on the Move is back, baby. What's up, Color?
Nada, man. I'm just chilling in the nice chilly state of Colorado, having fun on hiatus.
Gotcha. Well, I'm glad to see you. I'm jealous where you're at. I wish I was there. Hopefully you're having a good time.
Yes, absolutely. Appreciate you holding it down for me Thursday night too, man. Really good show.
Definitely. I tried to be the cooler Color because I am
the number one contender.
Sorry, man. I'm telling you, the cheetah has been talking, and I've been drinking that Kool-Aid all day long from Tyreek Hill with all the positivity and everything that he has going along with it. You know what I mean? The confidence is through the roof. So I've been thinking about it. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special show for you tonight. It is Crazy Take Saturday. Bring your craziest takes, any crazy rumor, any beliefs that you have. I know I have them. I know Color has some. And let's talk about them. Tell us what you think. I don't care how crazy it is, how foolish it is. We're going to talk about it tonight. But before that, let's do the rundown, and we'll talk about some things, and then we'll start getting people on the stream. So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, hit the like and subscribe button. We got TMI Tuesdays at 9 p.m. with Tonk and Color. Some great content there, so check them out. On Thursdays, we got Color Commentary at Finn's Tailgate. He's on the show with me tonight. You'll understand why I say go to his show. Then on Saturdays, we got Late Night Exhale with me in color every Saturday at 10. And then on Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we got El Capitan on TFTDG. And then we also, make sure if you'd like to donate to the channel, we really appreciate it. We got Venmo and Cash App. And go to Fanatics. Use the link below. It helps the channel out. Get your awesome Dolphins gear. Get any type of gear you need. Any tailgating equipment. Whatever you need, they got it. Also, we got some crazy merch. Some cool hats. No, the girl does not come with the hat. We also got the sweatshirt. We got sandals. And I know Color's been eyeing the yoga pants. And then we also got tank tops. And we got beanies, and they come in different color schemes, by the way, so check them out. It's pretty cool stuff. All right, Color. So how's it going, man? How's it going?
Pretty good, man. How you did you catch that link I sent you in private chat?
Yes, I will. I'm probably, since you've read the full article, I'm going to have you talk about that. But before we do, there's a few things I would like to, some announcements I'm going to make before we get started. So let me go over that first. First off, from here at the Fins Tailgate, we would like to wish a happy birthday to Jaylen Phillips. Yes, our defensive end turned 23 today. Everybody say happy birthday to Jaylen Phillips. Happy birthday, y'all. So definitely, you got to wish him a happy birthday. Let's see what else we got going on. Let's see here. I wanted to talk about a few things, but you know how Twitter is. Sometimes you gotta, when you have them lined up, you gotta go back and find them. Let me see here. What is this? All right. I'm going to talk about this article first. This one's kind of interesting to me. It has to do with Dolphins, since we're a Dolphin-centric channel, but we like to talk about everybody. We're going to talk about this first. Then we're going to go to Color's topic. And then we're going to go from there. And then after we go over a few things, then we're going to start bringing everybody on with their crazy and broken takes. I can't wait to hear from everybody. So let's do this. All right. So, according to reports, actually not report, it's an article I was reading. Ryan Clark is claiming that the Dolphins are a bigger threat to the Bills than the Patriots. Isn't that so sweet to hear, Color?
Yeah, and I can't say I wouldn't. I don't disagree with it. I'm ready for him.
Yeah, I'm ready for him too. I can't wait for that game. That's going to be one heck of a game.
I mean, if our team is as ready as me as a fan, then we should have no problem.
Yeah. So the article goes on to say in 2021, the Miami Dolphins were winless against the Buffalo Bills as the team from Orchard Park outscored the team from Miami Gardens 61-11. I know it sounds really bad. It does. It feels really bad. However, what they're not telling you in that sentence is our defense actually was playing very well up until the fourth quarter in both games. That's where we were getting burned out, to be honest.
And where was the biggest fan complaint? Was on offense. And again, it's only paper, but I don't expect a 6-time Pro Bowler just all of a sudden not play like a 7-time Pro Bowler.
That is true. And in addition to it, if you also think about it and actually go back to the game, there were chances that even with Brissett made that we could have scored. We could have kept in the game multiple times.
Well, not to mention that one well-placed touchdown could change the entire butterfly effect of the game. I mean,
definitely. So as much as the score looked bad, you really have to go watch the game to see what really happened, to be honest.
Yeah.
But looking at the numbers, the Dolphins decision makers knew moves needed to be made after Mike McDaniel was brought in to run the show. Miami spent big free agency. Spent big in free agency. Can't talk tonight. Sorry. Bringing in a number of talented offensive players to try and catch up to the big bad Bills at the top of the AFC East. So we did. We brought in Tyreek Hill, massive superstar. Brought in Armstead, top 10 talent at the offensive line. Connor Williams, arguably top 10 talent at the guard position, in my opinion. It depends on how you look at that. We got Mostert, Chase Edmonds, who are, some of the fastest people in as at the running back position. I believe.
It seems like every addition that we made is one of these guys that when we're watching them on their own team last year, the year before, or whatever, that we're like, man, why don't we have a bunch of guys like those? Like, why didn't we get that guy? Like, every good person we brought in was one of those playmakers, like or at least a type that made a difference to their team.
Definitely, definitely. And it's also we got Cedric Wilson, who was an up and coming young receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. And I can tell you from personal knowledge, the Dallas Cowboy fans are not happy that he came here. They are not happy that Dallas let him go. And we got him for a pretty decent deal. We also brought in Sony Michel, for example, and countless other offensive pieces that, that could be used in this offense. You know what I mean? So we brought in a lot of people this year versus previous years. And between the Dolphins and the Bills in the standings was the New England Patriots. With all of the changes that have taken place in South Florida, many are starting to believe that this is the I'm sorry, that it's the Dolphins that have chance to challenge Buffalo in the division, not the
Mm-hmm.
Patriots. Only one analyst that shares that opinion is former NFL safety Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark says, let's look at the Miami Dolphins. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki. You add Chase Edmonds, Sony Michel in the backfield. He's not even talking Mostert. And I think Mostert can bring a lot to that running back position as well. You also get Connor Williams up front, Teron Armstead, in order to protect Tua Tagovailoa. I can't even say his name tonight. Tua, sorry.
Yeah, we
Uh,
were going to go over that. We haven't got to it yet. I
yeah,
can help you with that.
thank you. Sorry, that's my bad. My bad. I never. You see my last name here on my at handle. Try saying that properly. I dare anybody. I'm not great at names at all. The only person here that may know is maybe some friends and family that are watching or color. Let me tell you.
Farbosh?
Yeah, you got it right. There you go. That's how you say my last name. Let's see what else did they say. So he goes on to say, and now you add Mike McDaniel, who understands how to make offenses run properly. Um, hold on. Yeah, McDaniel understands how to make offense move without having elite level talent at the quarterback position. So he's even saying he knows how to bring elite play without having an elite quarterback.
And that's not an insult to Tua.
No,
That's
no.
that should be an insult to any quarterback if it is an insult to Tua. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It goes right along the same lines as the verbiage that you and I have used. You started and I followed from
Mm-hmm.
the beginning of the word irrelevant. It's
Yeah.
not it's not a negative connotation. It's just to say that look, we could literally have Donald Duck playing quarterback, and we should be able to improve our 20 points per ball game last year.
Yeah, this is
You
absolutely
know,
true. And
and again, even if it doesn't improve, even if we only improve to 26 points per game,
Mhm,
well, again, one well placed touchdown changes the entire complexion of a game.
mhm.
Even that the game we got blown out against Buffalo, one well placed touchdown and they don't blow us out, and it's closer than it actually was. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
sometimes it's coming out at the third quarter and running it and driving the ball right down the throat of their defense and
Mhm.
scoring and setting that tone to start the second half. Sometimes that's all it is.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. And the other thing is, let's be real. We're not saying that Tua doesn't have talent to be a good quarterback
Sure,
at all. You have to have
we just
talent.
don't need him
To be
to.
good. We just don't need him to have
Well,
over the
correction,
hill.
correction. We need him to do exactly what he did last year at the very least,
Yeah, actually, you're absolutely
and we
correct.
should improve 2 wins.
Hmm. Definitely.
How could we not?
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And in what they're saying, and this is what Ryan Clark goes on to say, is now you put Tua in an offense that makes Kirk Cousin be able to play well, that made a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo get to the Super Bowl. Yes, Jimmy went to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Um, get back to the NFC Championship game in addition to it. All right. He believes that the Dolphins are set not necessarily to beat Buffalo Bills, but be the team that pushes them in the AFC. So we're going to compete with them. You know what I mean? Like if we really
We
go for it,
have to remember also that even mathematically last year, we still had a chance to take the division going into Tennessee.
yes, we did. Yes, we did. We had a game in hand, actually.
I mean, what happens if we improve one win and Buffalo regresses two? They still might be better than us, but we could still very well win the division over them.
Yeah. We don't have to go undefeated in division to win the division.
And we
So
don't necessarily we could get swept by them and still win the division.
it's very possible.
It
Very
happened last year. If we
yeah.
beat Tennessee and who'd we play after Tennessee? The Jets, right?
No, it was the Patriots, wasn't it?
Or yeah, Patriots.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they lose to Atlanta or the Jets,
Mm-hmm.
which Jets being a divisional game is always a possibility, considering Buffalo lost to Jacksonville. Okay. Atlanta had Matt Ryan. They took care of us. There's no telling that Matt Ryan can't have a great day with Pitts and take care of them. We could have easily still won the division. It wasn't like a hope and a prayer. We needed to take care of business for ourselves and beat Tennessee. That's what we needed to do. It didn't matter what the Bills did because we weren't going to have a shot if we didn't beat what was in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
So forget the Bills. Let them sweep
Yeah.
us. I mean, not saying, not that I want that to
No,
happen or
but
think it will, but
the truth
you
is,
know,
we have to at least compete with the Bills. We don't have to
well,
win both games.
what I mean is, given that we'd have to add 2 wins, probably to realistically have a shot at winning the division. That doesn't mean those 2 wins have to be one of the losses to Buffalo last year.
Mm-hmm.
We could get those 2 wins somewhere else.
This is true.
This
is absolutely true. I mean,
I have even if I still have plenty of hope for our team. I think we're in great position.
Nothing has changed my mind about going 14-3. All right. That's my realistic take. You know what my crazy take is, which we'll talk about later tonight. But I still think
I got a crazy take.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this. But
nobody's going to like it, but it's crazy. I'll promise you that.
I have a couple that nobody are going to like. And I'll put them out there to see who wants to take the bite.
But you know what? It's actually I'm making the particular take I am to make a statement. It's not really about the take.
I hear you.
I'm just happy these days.
That's great, man. That's great. All right. So yeah, that was an interesting take on it. I like what he had to say. He broke it down. When you add these people in and then a coach that knows how to manage a team without having an elite quarterback, that tells you something. That tells you he believes in Mike McDaniel and everything that the Dolphins are doing in addition to it.
And that's another thing. We have questions about new head coach and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the guy's at least shown enough or said the right things enough to lend credence to the idea that he already kind of knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
and he seems like the type that really could run with a ready-made team. Mm-hmm. Like he's smart enough to. Maybe he's not smart enough to build what we have from the point at which Flores started building it. That might be true. But I mean, it would be like somebody's, that's been playing Madden his whole life, and then finally got a chance to actually, be the one, like, you know what I mean? Like it'd be like if you were playing the game and your brother that taught you how to play is back there telling you which plays to call.
Mm-hmm.
And then at some point you're like, no, I know what I want to do and I'm ready to do it, and here's a ready-made team, I don't really think I'm in totally disagreement with Vegas on that, but I hear that the line moved up now that people have been betting that over on that 8.5.
Can you pull that up for me? I'd like to know where it's at currently if we find that out, actually.
Let's see. I guess I could go to like Fox Bet real quick, right? They would have a standard.
Well, while you're pulling that up, I just want to say that we still need Tua to have the talents and what he's really good at still to make this work.
Well, that's just icing on the cake.
Yeah, what I'm talking about is like, let's look at the things he does very good. He's really good in pocket presence, okay? And in addition to it, he also has really, really good elite ball placement. That is something he does do at an elite level. And I feel if he can get the ball, consistently, doing it consistently with, in each game, I think that's more than enough to get us where we need to be. I mean, that's my opinion, though.
So
You
I
know,
guess we've just all finally accepted the platitude, right? That he has elite ball placement. I guess we're just going with that these days. I'm sorry, I don't want to drag this out. I just wanted to make sure that that's what we've all decided that is the
I'm
platitude,
not
I
saying
suppose.
that's what you have to decide. That's what my opinion is, and that's what players such as Mike Gesicki,
I know.
who recently said that he puts the ball where it needs to be
Which
every.
is ironic. Which is ironic because I mean, I would like to do a study on his all of his catches so far from Tua in his career, and count how many of them were like where his arms were fully extended.
Mhm. But
I'd
do
really like to know
understand,
the number on that.
not even the players I've heard this from. When you watch the games, because I DVR everything, so I go back and watch games, and stuff
Mm,
like that. And I'll be sitting there watching, and the commentators even say, "Oh, look at that ball placement." I've heard that multiple times about Tua. You know what I mean? And granted, a lot of people are going to complain, "Oh, well, it was only a 6-yard pass that way, or a 5-yard pass that way, or whatever, or that's an out pass." Where's the intermediate deep throw? You know what I mean? I get that, but the offense may not need him to do that. We may not need him to do that at all. That may be not what they want him to do.
right, right. Now,
You know?
don't get me wrong. He has the ability to
Mm,
put the ball in a perfect place. Sure,
mm,
absolutely. I would not disagree with that. It's sort of like the Preston Williams thing, though. You know what I mean? Like Preston Williams is an elite wide receiver. I'll tell you that right now. If you're just talking about subjective elite, like where it's like you don't know what his career is going to be,
mm.
you don't know what his production level is going to be, but you look at pure talent and pure receiving ability and stuff. The guy's an elite receiver when he wants to be.
When he wants to be. I see
You
what you
know.
mean by that. Yeah, I definitely hear you. And he did show some
Now,
flashes
I'm not
when he
saying
was
Chu
up.
is an elite quarterback when he wants to be. I'm saying that he has very good ball placement when he really wants to.
Let's agree on this one thing. It is only up to Tua to show that he is an elite quarterback.
Of course.
All right. And it's up to him to show that. And if he wants to show that, then great. But what I think what they're talking about here, and what this whole offense is surrounded, and not just with our team, but also you think about Kirk Cousins, you think about some of the other QBs that they mentioned, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Hmm.
The whole point was making the game easier so they didn't have to have, to rely on certain skill sets that the quarterback didn't have. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? It made it easier for everybody. Made it easier for the offense. It made it easier for the quarterback. Made it easier for the coaches. And I'm not saying that Tua is a horrible QB at all. In fact, I have numbers to prove that he's not. And I talked about him on Thursday. We talked about the fact that Tua is not a check down quarterback. All right. I don't want him to be a check down quarterback.
Right, right.
You know,
Real quick, I just wanted to say Bo makes is articulates what exactly what I was just trying to say so much a better way than I do. He says now we haven't bent a blade of grass this year in game time yet. But McDaniel and staff has came in looking on top of their game so far to me. That's pretty much what I'm saying. There's been no indication to me that I should make an assumption that they can't do the job sufficiently, like calling plays on the field, challenging when you're supposed to, going for two when you're supposed to, and this and that and the other. There's nothing suggesting that I should make an assumption that they can't continue right along with our roster and add 2 wins
mhm.
based on the personnel we've brought in to the field. And in other words, I don't really see any reason to assume that he's any worse than Flores.
Yeah, I don't. There's nothing here that tells me that we can't
And you
win.
know, I don't say that lightly. I don't usually. I'm not trying to bring Flores into this. I'm just saying. Then our previous coach will say, okay,
Oh yeah,
he can't be worse than that.
yeah, I completely
You know,
understand. What I'm trying to say, what I was trying to say is that I don't. There's nothing that shows that they can't win at least the same amount or more games than they did last year. There's nothing that shows me that they can't do it.
I cannot
Let's
tell a lie.
get my
I
Hey,
cannot tell a lie.
it's legal in certain states. Leave them alone.
No license required here either.
Yes, no license required. Where's he's at? So so yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to say. I mean, I have high hopes. They showed me that what their plan was early from free agency and into the draft, and everybody they brought in, you automatically see what their plan is. You know what I mean? You can see how it works. There's nothing that doesn't make sense. I don't see, like, I forget what who the coach was at the time, or the GM at the time, but we hired um we hired a coach, and then they drafted Ted Ginn Jr. with the first pick. You know what I mean? Remember how bad that looked? We don't have those Willie GBs
Yeah,
now. You know
I
what I mean?
also remember how bad it looked on the field.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It was bad. It was that's what it was. So, you
Yep,
know what I
that was
mean?
a gin fart if I ever heard one.
Yeah. So in I you know what I mean? And that I don't see those types of moves here. We haven't done anything that, like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? I see a construction, and I see an architect, and and an engineer, and they're all putting everything together in the proper order and constructing something that looks like it's going to be amazing. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I cannot disagree, man. I cannot disagree. And hey, what happens that something happens, God forbid, the worst to our starting quarterback? Well, we've got a sufficient one to back up. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
gosh, if there isn't so much that is emulating 72, it's just amazing to me. If we
Yeah.
would have landed our Zonka, man, I really thought we should have made a move for Henry in the offseason. I really do.
Yeah.
I think Henry would have been the tip of the iceberg. Like there would be no doubt that we're rolling this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You mean Derrick
And we
Henry,
could have
right?
got it done. Yeah, and we could have got it done even with everybody else we brought in.
Um, yes, but I think the issue with it is that the offense that they want to run does not require a bell cow running back. And
No, I'm not talking
Henry,
about a bell cow. I'm talking about Larry Zonka.
oh, you said Henry. So I'm thinking,
Right. Who's the only one in the league that comes close to Larry Zonka?
yeah, I
you
see what
know,
you're saying.
I mean, you're talking about what are we playing to? We're playing to our advantages right now these days. We're implementing a system that's really going to help us use the climate of Miami to our advantage.
Hmm.
That's what happened in 72. And who knows if 70 let's look at the climatological record. Who knows if 72 wasn't an abnormally hot year. Now you're talking about a guy like Derrick Henry. When that defense's heartbeat starts slowing down around the third quarter
Mm.
in
Hey,
98-degree weather and handing the ball off to Derrick Henry. I mean, wow.
yeah, I understand. Can you highlight Louis
Sure.
Amador's comment? I want to read that and comment on it.
Let's see here.
Color and Ali, your opinion, what would have been a better option? Flo as head coach and McDaniel as OC, or McDaniel as head coach and Boyer as DC? Okay.
That is a fantastic question. Absolutely fantastic question.
That's a tough
Really.
question. Uh,
Um, Go
I
ahead, Ollie.
I'm gonna go first. Oh, oh, hold on. That's weird. You guys can still see me, right? Here,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, you're
Sorry.
good.
Something happened. I got the white screen of death. I'm like, what is this? Sorry. Um, so I'm gonna go with, and this is just my opinion based on the last 2 years, and and yes, I understand we don't really know what's going to happen with Boyer right now. But I actually think McDaniel as a head coach and Flo as the DC would have been
No,
Voltron.
throwing in an option C, huh?
That would
Look
have
at
been,
you.
yeah, that would be my
Hey, it's your show. You're allowed to do that, bro.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. That would be my Voltron move right there, right? I think you have the best offense and the best defense on the field. Let's get it right. Flo is a fantastic defensive minded person. You know what I mean? He really can talk, and knows everything about the defense. He can make some things happen, and he showed it in the Super Bowl, during the regular season. You know what I mean? I really believe in his defense. At the flip
Hmm.
side, to answer the question that we have here, um, yeah, shoot. I really see, my thing is I like McDaniel as the head coach. I like what he's doing because he I kind of like his style because let's be real, the most important thing on every team is their offense. You know what I mean? The quarterback play, the scoring points is the number one priority with any team. You know what I mean? Um, in my opinion, and I know I'm wrong because there's some exceptions, I think that defensive coaches have a higher chance of having mediocre teams versus, power teams that score on the will and everything. It's my
Right.
opinion, but I know there are some exceptions to that. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go with the McDaniel as the head coach. The DC, that's a big question mark for me still. You know what I mean? I would hope that Boyer has really looked at all the good things that our defense did last year and is going to be implementing that. But I also know that Boyer is probably going to be putting certain schemes in place that he wanted to run last year, but didn't necessarily have all of the personnel he needed. Bringing in Tinsdale may help that. Bringing Melvin Ingram may be some of those pieces that he needed to run that style of defense that he wanted to game 1 through 7.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens.
That's
I really want to go with option C though. That would have been Voltron to me. So,
well. I would have to say that I'm gonna for two reasons. I'm gonna go with the first option, and I know that everybody's going to assume that it's because I'm a Flores supporter. Dare I say sycophant? Okay, I get it. But if I am a sycophant, it's for that style of coaching, and I don't think, yeah, there were players that rubbed the wrong way. I get it. I understand the whole dynamics that are coming out about Eric Bieniemy being similar and all that. Oh, it's a new
that's the next
era.
segue.
Yeah,
So if
well, I
you're
was
going to
going to
tell
say,
that,
oh, it's a new era. It's a new type of player. Blah blah blah. No, if you don't get my mission, if you don't get my vision as a head coach, and a billionaire owner has seen fit to make me a head coach, get out of here. Yeah, I'm sorry. Just put somebody in here that does get my vision. That all aside, I think more players really got the vision than we know, and I think that Florida. I think really it really came down to the personal issue with the owner upstairs, whatever it was. I think that he would have been I think that Flores still had the locker room, believe it or not, and maybe not everybody in it, but I think overall, I think he did. Now, if we're saying all moves the same in the offseason, the team we're working with now, given that number two, that here's the number one reason is that Flores has already done it for 2 years.
Mhm.
Um, Number two, by bringing in Mike McDaniel as OC, you're still reaping every benefit of why you want him in the building.
Yeah.
Uh, unless you just comparatively say that the attitude, you would rather have one attitude over the other. That's a subjective opinion, and that's fine.
No,
Putting that aside
yeah.
for a second, the other aspect is Boyer and I firmly believe Boyer and Flores would be equally the same choice as DC. I really don't. I've never understood this argument about this or anything like that. You know, I would imagine some weeks one of them called bad plays, and other weeks the other guy called bad plays. They both came from the exact same system. They both implemented the exact same system here. They partnered in doing it, regardless of what everybody thinks. It's the same thing. So I would probably go with the first option simply because we can't really know how Mike McDaniel is going to be as a functional, practical head coach. You see what I'm saying? A
Mhm.
field head coach. So since we do know things about Flores, then I would just have to stick with Flores as the head coach because you'd still get the benefit of his influence on defense, and Mike McDaniel as OC because he won't have to be tied with learning the ropes as that managing men, and he can just implement what we expect him to with offense, and he can focus all his attention on that. So
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm kind of torn to say the first option, but either one would be fine.
Yeah, I mean, either one would be fine. I really like C though. That would have been awesome. Just
To
my
take
pick.
my Flores honk hat off, I would say either one would be perfectly fine with me. I'm indifferent, really.
Yeah,
Like you said, the option C would be the best one.
yeah.
You know,
Let's talk about Eric Bieniemy though. We you brought that up. So it was been reported on I Am Athlete, and I believe who was the
oh,
running
real
back?
quick, I just wanted to say one thing real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was who was it that said the comment about the
Here it
picture
is.
behind me?
Yeah, I have it. It's LaShawn McCoy. Go ahead with what you want to say real quick, and then we'll.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out who it was, um so I don't answer the wrong person.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Iceman, but I'm not sure.
Well, who asked the question? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, about the picture behind me. Yeah.
Oh, it was well, the picture behind you. No, no, no. I don't know who asked that. I'm sorry.
Either case, I'm sorry, I forgot who. Oh, it was Iceman.
Okay.
And I just wanted to point out, just so everybody knows, or at least Iceman knows, since he inquired about it or commented it. This is like a big piece of travertine that's being formed by a hot spring and the deposits from the hot spring, and that's a little drip of the hot spring water from it.
Pretty
Just to
cool.
let you know, since you commented on it and seemed to enjoy the picture,
Pretty
let you
cool.
know what it actually is. Sorry,
Definitely.
sidebar.
No, it's okay. So as I was saying, where is it real quick? Here it is. So during an interview on SiriusXM, I Am Athlete, the former Eagles Pro Bowl running back LaShawn McCoy said Chiefs Eric Bieniemy certain way of speaking to players is to blame for him not receiving a head coach opportunity. So we all know, and I'm not, and please understand, I'm not hating on Flo. I'm not saying he was a good coach or bad coach. I'm indifferent. I think there are some decisions he could have made differently. I definitely agree with. I definitely respect him as a person. I respect him as a coach and whatnot. I just think certain things could have been done a lot differently. Um, Now, if that's the case, if that's a concern from Eric Bieniemy, and we've heard the concerns about Flo and how he talked to Tua and how he treated Tua and whatnot, do you think that this is starting to become a bigger issue in the NFL with coaches and how they relate to their players? Is it becoming more like
It's
the
hard to know because there's been quite a few coaches recently that only got 1 or 2 years, and we don't really know why they really got fired sometimes, But
Mhm.
I've already been on record as saying I think that Robert Kraft is the only owner in the NFL that's shown that he can deal with that kind of coaching style, I should say. So, in other words, what I'm saying is and this is my final thought on the Shanahan Belichick tree debate. Okay,
Oh, okay.
I believe if Mike Shanahan was going to get hired today, the three-time Super Bowl champion Mike Shanahan, if he was trying to get hired today, I think that Robert Kraft is the only NFL owner that would hire it, or at least keep him hired after 2 years.
So you think that it's because he has the ability to deal with that type of
Oh, he understands how to win football games. He understands what it takes to build a 20-year champion. Prove me wrong. Somebody come up on this panel and prove me wrong.
That's true. That you guys can come up on the panel and definitely prove him wrong if you want to. I just find it very interesting.
Just saying, history's on my side.
I understand. Um,
I'm tired of having a debate about the new paradigm because the new paradigm hasn't really shown it can win. Just because one team or two teams, gel together and it's a coach that's not a firecracker. I mean, so what? That doesn't prove anything. John Harbaugh is a hard ass. That's why the Ravens win. Jim Harbaugh is a hard ass. That's why his teams win. Bill Belichick is a six-time Super Bowl champion.
I'm gonna put an exclamation. What do you call it? A little star next to asterisk next to Jim Harbaugh. Actually, his history of winning.
He's a hard ass, but he is a player's coach. I'll give you that.
No. What I'm talking about is the fact that since he left the Niners, after the Super Bowl loss that he had with Colin Kaepernick, he actually hasn't been as successful in recent years. Up until this last year, he wasn't very successful. So that's why I put an asterisk on there. But I do see what you mean about being a hard ass.
Right. Well, and let me correct myself about this because Carla makes a good point. When I say being a hard ass, I'm being very figurative when I use that word. And in the way that I'm using it figuratively, yes, Don Shula was a hard ass. Don Shula had certain standards that had to be met, and those certain standards today, unfortunately, would be considered aggressions. That just is what it is, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't want it to be that way. You know what I mean? I don't want to have that opinion, I should say.
Can you be a strict coach or hard ass, as we're saying, and still be concerted to players in a respectful manner? Can you do both?
Well, I think maybe Jim Harbaugh and even John Harbaugh have shown that's possible.
Okay.
Because I think a lot of coaches, if you would ask, they would probably run through a brick wall for John Harbaugh or Jim.
Yeah, the reason I'm
asking Doug Peterson, although Doug Peterson, you could say he's not a hard ass, but he does have standards and will cut. He might not yell in your face, but he'll ruin your livelihood if you don't adhere to certain standards. And if you do adhere to certain standards, you get ice cream.
I want ice cream. No, but like the reason I'm asking is because
I really think it's just, you know what? I guess what I'm trying to say is it's chemistry. It always is. It always was. The chemistry might look different for different situations, different teams, different time years, but we could revert back to another time in 10 years that the chemistry for this one team could be that the coach was a real hard ass. And you know what I mean? I really don't think anybody ever knows.
Yeah, I like what you said there about the chemistry, because I was going to start saying that it seems like some of the issues have been oil and water.
I've used that phrase oil and water a lot to describe what happened in our building.
But also I was making point that Mostert, in an interview that he had, stated that Coach McDaniel is not Coach McDaniel on the field that he is at the podium. They're two different people. So he says that basically my understanding is that Coach McDaniel can be a hard ass on the practice field or on the field on Sundays, whereas at the podium he may be this eccentric, funny, going guy. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? So we don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out what really comes out of it. But I just found it kind of interesting that this is another person, and is starting to say stuff like that about about coaches.
And I'm gonna give this statement its due. Belichick record without Brady is 70-79 and 29-58 against teams over 500. Belichick is not all that. Okay, Belichick was Brady's coach. Are we just going to throw that out the window? It is widely reported and known as truth that Belichick was a hard ass to Brady. So I don't get the point here anyway. Good. Thank you for making it, though. Appreciate your comment.
Yeah, I see what he's trying to say though. Is in he's discounting.
Brady might have made the championships.
That's true.
But who made Brady? Michigan?
Maybe it's one of those offensive assistants that New England has.
Who hired him?
That's true. That's
Kraft gave, look, Kraft, and this is the point I'm making about Kraft. He gave Bill Belichick full control from almost day one.
Mm-hmm.
Full control.
Let me ask you, how do you rate Joe Bledsoe?
I was one that was stunned when he didn't get his job back after recovering from his injury. I was shocked.
You thought Joe Bledsoe was a decent quarterback at the time?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if, I don't know. I have to go back.
I was still young though and didn't see. I'm sorry, real quick. I wanted to finish answering that. I was still young and didn't necessarily understand that. There's bigger issues. There's bigger intangibles. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I wouldn't have said Tom Brady fit those, but yes, I can understand now in retrospect that I could see why. Yeah, despite what I saw as a younger person in my eye test with Drew Bledsoe, that there's probably plenty that could be better.
Because I remember when I was a kid, and I know you're probably a little bit older than I am. But when I was a kid, Joe Bledsoe, what people talked about Joe Bledsoe like they talk about Brady now.
Yeah.
They style a quarterback.
They were more using the Dan comparison with Bledsoe.
Yeah, so that's what makes me question. I was like, well, maybe he learned a lot from Joe Bledsoe right off the get go, and he just knew he unlocked himself. You know what I mean? I was just, trying to see where you were.
I'm not trying to take credit from Brady, but this notion that Belichick had nothing to do with Brady is just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
I think the notion we should have, in which we just talked about, the oil and water, it was the water situation. They're both water, which made water.
Yes, I wanted to correct you, Ali, but I didn't want to be rude about correcting you. I thought you might have saw it or might have just been misspeaking, but it was Drew Bledsoe, not Joe.
Oh, that's what I meant. I'm so sorry.
If you had Joe Montana on your mind, I can see why that.
No, there's another person. I was trying to figure out who the person was in my head ahead of time, but it is Drew Bledsoe that I was talking about. So sorry about that. So whoever caught that,
it's not like getting Kelsey and Kittle mixed up all the time. Just kidding, TD. I'm just kidding.
But we do have two different Kelseys in the league, so that can be kind of confusing depending on what you're talking about. Because there's Travis, and then there's what's his brother's name?
Oh yeah, there is the other Kelsey. He's doing something else, right? Offensive lineman or something.
Yeah, and I think he plays for the Eagles. I could be wrong about that. I thought he used to.
Yeah, I think it is the Eagles.
Yeah. So sorry, mistakes happen. We're all human. Anyway, let's see what else we want to talk about before we start dropping the link here.
Oh, did you want me? Do you want to get into the what I was telling you, the Q&A I was telling you about?
Yeah, you talk about that color. Let's hear what you got.
So it was an article posted on SI from Alan Popart. That was actually 6 days ago. It's an old article, but it was a Q&A he had with his viewer or with his readers. And one of the questions I wanted to touch on, not the whole article. Let's see, where is it? Maybe I found the wrong one. I might have to pull it back up.
It should be in the private chat.
No, yeah, I've got the older one though. I'm sorry. I'll find it in a minute. You can actually go about what you're doing, and I'll just interject it. It's not a big deal.
No worries.
I just
All
got to
right.
find the one I found was the older one. But there's a newer one out if I can
Oh,
get it
wow.
quick enough.
Gotcha. Let me bring up what I wanted to. So, just some interesting facts since we're going to bring up crazy takes soon. I just was found some interesting things. The last time Packers Aaron Rodgers threw 10 interceptions was 2010. That was kind of interesting.
I'm sorry.
The last time Aaron Rodgers threw 10 interceptions, according to what I'm reading here, is 2010. Let me verify if that's accurate.
Wow. You know what? I'll pull it up on my phone instead because that's where I saw it.
Yeah, 2010 was the last time that he threw 10 interceptions. He had 11 interceptions that year, right?
Wow.
What's even more interesting, and let me bring this up. This is the list for last season that had 10 or more interceptions last year. This is 2022. Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Matt Stafford, Dak Prescott, and Derek Carr all had 10 interceptions or more last season.
That's interesting.
That is really, really interesting. Those are all what we put on that scale as either elite or possibly could be elite at some point. All those QBs had 10 or more interceptions last season. I found that kind of interesting that Aaron Rodgers still had less than 10. He had, according to what I'm reading here, is 4 interceptions last year. That's
Who's
crazy.
that? Who was that?
Aaron Rodgers only had 4 interceptions last year.
How's that possible? The way he throws the ball.
I don't know. That I'm gonna double check the stat I'm looking at just to make sure. Yeah, it's real. I'm looking at Pro Football Reference and it's telling me the same thing.
I mean,
Holy
he's been throwing interceptions while trying to throw the ball away at people's feet. How does he not?
I don't know, but he still threw for over 4,115 yards, 37 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions with a rating of 111.9.
Wow.
It's ridiculous. So that was kind
So
of
apparently they've memory holed that article because now it's not even back on my toilet feed.
Oh wow.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. Let me see if I can pull it up. So the one that's in the private chat is not the correct one?
No, that's older. For some reason, it seemed like it had the same headline, but that one's older.
Okay. Well, we can pull that up or save it for next week.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, we can move on from it. Sure. I just thought it was odd. All of a sudden, I can't find it anywhere. I just read it like half hour before the show started.
Yeah, I understand.
Right on. All right.
Let's see what else I got here before we'll start dropping the link here.
Oh, by the way, Bet US still has the Dolphins at 8.5. And the over eight.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say over 8.5 is a minus 135 favorite. Under 8.5 is a plus 105 underdog.
I don't know if Bet US is correct because it was reported elsewhere that it was up to.
Well, it may not be correct, but if you set up an account with them and make that bet, that's the line. That's the odds you're getting.
Interesting. Very interesting.
In other words, it may not correlate with somebody else, but it's their odds, so they're
Mhm.
the ones you're making the bet through. You know what I mean? But
Definitely.
like I said, the under is the underdog slightly, but in other words, more people think that they'll get the over so far that are betting.
Mm. So, speaking of Las Vegas, this is per NFL rumors, which I like to go to since it's Crazy Take Saturday. And I like to, you know, talk about some of the stuff that you see on here, as crazy as it may be. They have Las Vegas makes predictions on NFL teams with the worst records for 2022. Number one, they have Texans at 3-14. Do you agree? 3-14 sounds about right for the Texans.
I don't know. They got 4 wins last year.
4 wins last year. They made some good additions. I know they bolstered their cornerback position.
I
Um,
guess the question is, do you think they can get more than 3 wins in their own division?
mm,
They could beat Jacksonville at least once.
yeah,
They could probably beat Tennessee at least once now.
I don't know about Tennessee. Tennessee is a question mark.
That's what I'm saying. So you give them one of the 2 games. So you think they could you could logically conclude that they could beat Tennessee at least once,
Okay.
given some kind of progression on Davis Mills's part, since he already got 4 wins last year.
Yeah.
And then who else they got in their division?
Jacksonville,
Jacksonville. Well, I already said Jacksonville, right? So
Texans.
they could get one on Jacksonville. They could get one on Tennessee. The
It's the
Colts.
Colts. Yeah.
I don't think they can get one on the Colts.
No, I'm with you there. I think the Colts. Well, it depends
So
on
I guess
how
that's
well.
so I guess that's about right because they would have to sweep Tennessee and Houston, or they'd have to sweep one of those teams. I mean, Jacksonville, I meant. And I don't think that with Doug Peterson now, I don't think they can sweep Jacksonville, to be honest with you. And we're likely sure that they can't sweep Tennessee. So, yeah,
Yeah,
they can't get more than 3 wins in their division. Now we'd have to look at who else is on their schedule. And
I
obviously,
think
there's other
I
terrible
think
teams.
the team that is the question mark for them, that it depends on how well. I think Jacksonville is a possibility. Getting a win from Jacksonville, I think, is a possibility.
Sure.
I don't think they can sweep the Colts at all. I think Colts win both games. Not Colts. I'm sorry, not Colts. Tennessee. I think Tennessee wins both games, even with Ryan Tannehill. I mean, Derrick Henry is a beast. I don't see them stopping Derrick
So,
Henry.
so, what's the effect of having the Texans win more than 3 games? Like,
What do you mean? What the effect is? What do you mean?
I don't know. I could probably speak for a lot of fans and say that I'd probably rather talk about the Detroit Lions than Houston Texans. No
Well,
offense.
according to Vegas prediction, Lions are going to win. Are going to finish with the 2022 season at 7-10.
I mean, that's a fair line for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's saying that, Vegas kind of agrees that nobody should be shocked if Detroit has a decent year.
Mm-hmm. They also have the Jets at 7-10.
Same thing. Jets are almost in the same position as the Lions as far
Yeah,
as that goes.
I would agree with that. They have the 49ers, and this is important because we still technically own their pick. Um, they have the
Oh, I'm
49ers.
sorry. You're running through a list. I was
Yeah,
just trying to figure out why anybody in their right mind would want to talk about the Houston Texans. I'm sorry.
I was gonna go through every team, but that's okay. That's all right. We don't have to. I'll just go to the
Not,
highlights.
not, no, you can. I'm just saying, I think I exposed my hatred, my personal hatred for the Houston Texans there.
Yeah, I got you. No worries. They have the 49ers at 8-9. So that was kind of interesting.
No betting advice here, people.
Yes, we
But
don't no betting advice.
no betting advice here. But I say somebody's wrong about the 49ers.
So you think that they're gonna win more games?
Absolutely. If it's 8,
Mm.
Ollie, make a case for me as to why. Let's just say they regress a little bit. They got to the NFC Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
They outscored the Los Angeles Rams in the regular season 58-36
Mm-hmm.
in the two games they met. They swept them
Mm-hmm.
with that 58-36 point differential.
Mm-hmm.
And then they lost to them in the playoffs, which everybody knows you can't beat a team three times, especially a third time, especially if that third one's in the playoffs. Everybody knows that.
Okay.
That's why people were telling me to not pick the 49ers to win that game. You know what I mean? So let's say they regress a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
8 wins? So make a case to me as to how they can regress from NFC Championship runner-ups to 7 wins.
Well, give me 1 second.
In other words, in order to take the under on 8. I'm
Yeah,
waiting. I mean, it's your show. You got all night. You can make a case, man.
just give me 1 second, sir. I'm checking to find out where the 49ers finished last season.
I'm actually emulating crypto here. I'm trying to do
Oh,
my best crypto because crypto and I are in full agreement that
okay.
everybody is way overboard on saying that the 49ers are gonna regress that much.
I'm going to tell you why I think they're going to regress. Okay. I'm not saying they are, and please don't bet on this, people. This is just an opinion. Okay. So the 49ers finished 10-7 last season, right? They still have the Los Angeles Rams in their division. They still have the Arizona Cardinals in their division. Okay. So they finished 10-7 last season. That was with Jimmy Garoppolo, Debo, Brandon Ayuk. They also had Tomlinson at the right guard position, I believe, maybe left guard. But he was by far one of the major pieces on the offensive line that that actually helped them with their running game. Now they lost Mostert. They don't have Mostert anymore. They don't have Tomlinson anymore, right? You
Do they still have Bosa?
they still have Bosa, but let me get to that. We will get to that, please. Let's let me give me the time to give you these
Sure,
facts,
sure.
and then we can debate it out. Okay. So, so they don't have Tomlinson. They don't. There's rumors about Garoppolo leaving. They have Trey Lance, who is not really proven yet, right? Um, they lost Coach McDaniel, and he was, by everybody's account, that's a player on that team and coaches around, say he's the main reason why they did so well because he unlocked the offense based on what they had and created a mastermind of their running game, right? So let's say all of that's true. You brought in Anthony Lynn, who runs a different offense than Coach McDaniel did, right? You didn't bring in any running back or anybody else to replace who you lost. You didn't bring anybody really that's worth talking about to replace their guard that they lost. Yes, they still have the same defense that they had before. You still have issues at corner, and that was a big question mark and a need for them. And I don't feel that they actually have addressed it really at all, right? And it's already been rumored so far that Bosa, and this is where I'm going with that, are in a contract dispute with the Niners. They don't want to give up the bag, and he wants the bag. When you add
Okay.
all that up, you still haven't showed me that they're going to have the same offensive stats because you have a different coach who doesn't run the same scheme that you did the year before. You can't tell me just because it's the same players that the scheme is going to be any different. And
So wait a minute.
hold on, hold on, please, hold on. I'll let you interject. I promise. In addition to it, the number one problem that they had in the NFC Championship game, and they could have gotten to the Super Bowl again, is they didn't have another piece when either it was Debo or Ayuk. You have to go back and look. Went down. That game completely changed. You made that offense one dimensional. And if you're not going to add pieces to make it more of a multi-dimensional offense, I don't see how you win more than 8 games on technically a rookie QB. That's just my opinion. Go ahead, Color. I'll let you interject.
So the Bosa thing, it could be important. I'll give you that.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason they didn't have anything beyond Debo Samuel when Debo Samuel got a little dinged up in the Super Bowl is for precisely the same reason that they were using Debo Samuel the way they were in the first place. Debo Samuel was the go-to guy because their entire running back room was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Their entire running back room is not going to be hurt this year. And, I mean, the scheme that Mike McDaniel ran, I mean, it's not as if Kyle Shanahan can't implement that or, I mean, in other words, you're talking about a guy that had to pass through the head coach to get his scheme to play. And the head coach saw that it worked.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I don't see why he wouldn't either bring somebody in that would, keep that going or force it to keep it going himself. He is the head coach. And, I mean, you make a lot of great points. The only thing I would say is that San Francisco has proven in the last, 5 to 10 years that they can develop players. So the holes can be filled in that way. I think Trey Lance absolutely showed in the small amount of tape that he was able to put on that he's got a serious upside. I think Boza will probably be worked out.
Here's one other thing I forgot to mention in there. So who else do you have in a contract year?
Well,
You have Debo Samuels in a contract year. Debo may not want to play the same style so he can protect himself in the event that he does move to.
So he'll want to put on bad tape in a contract year?
I did not say that. I did not say that. What I'm trying to say is that I feel that he may not want to be put on the grind at every
Right, but there's a lot of people in the league, Ali, that aren't convinced that Debo Samuel can play his normal position in an elite manner as he played whatever you would call however they played him in that scheme in San
That's a
Francisco.
good point. That's another good point. So yeah, you're absolutely
He's
right.
got that to prove, and that's why he was adamant about no, you're not going to use me that way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a wide receiver because he came into the league to be one. He doesn't want to do all that. He's not a running back.
Yeah, and that's another reason. If you think about it, if they're forced to play him just as a wide receiver, and let's say he's not as elite, who picks up his slack for not being there? That's the
Ayuk's.
question mark.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I mean, you
Yeah,
got to remember another thing too. There is still so much time left from now till game one.
that's
When it
true.
comes to filling holes and problems, we have absolutely no idea what Shanahan's plan is going forward to address those points that you made.
Yeah.
Secondly, the other one I want to do, the other point I want to address is the division point. The Rams lost Von Miller. They lost OBJ potentially. They have to get through a Super Bowl lag. They have to repeat what they've already done, which is rare enough in itself. Secondly, the Arizona Cardinals are completely exposed, in my opinion. The Rams laid the formula, just like we laid the formula as to how to beat the Ravens and any other RPO that wants to be thrown at people. Not that they did it or we did it. This was done in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
I read the article on the air.
You don't think adding Hollywood Brown makes a difference for Arizona?
A little bit.
Okay.
Because you did come back with that point a few nights ago when we were debating Arizona in general.
Mm-hmm.
But I honestly believe it's still going to take Kyler Murray to get him the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying Kyler Murray can't. He can sling it, sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't understand how you can keep up that RPO scheme. I mean, look at the way the Rams blew that line of scrimmage up, and Kyler was being treated the same way Lamar was being treated when we beat the Ravens. Hey, we'll push him to the sideline. We'll hold our gaps. And then guess what he's doing in the end zone? Look what Kyler was doing in the end zone, man, when he's under pressure. He
Yeah.
looked just like Tua. And that's not a slight to Tua. That's actually to say these are reasons I think everybody can improve, including Tua. Because at that point, I mean, to me, the Cardinals' offense looked as laughable as ours did last year against the Rams in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And so X out Arizona is a threat to the division. Who's left? Seattle
Yeah, Seattle, I don't
with
think
Drew
wins more than
Lock,
5 games. I don't think they win more than 5.
Geno Smith, Drew Lock going to take out the 49ers?
Yeah, Glassjaw Smith. That's who's running.
Anybody else? So now going for the wild, let's say the Rams don't regress. Now going for the wild card, who else in the NFC is going to challenge San Francisco for the wild card? They were 10-7 last year and still made it to the playoffs and the NFC Championship game. Who in the NFC is going to challenge them from doing that again?
Hmm. That's a good question. There's not very many teams. I mean,
Or at least getting 9 wins. Because remember, you had pointed out that it was 8. So
yeah, I mean, there's Cowboys. Who else is in the NFC that's still up there? Vikings. People are high on the Vikings, but I don't think so. I'm kind of low on the Vikings because they didn't really make any changes. All they did is extended their quarterback position. They did solidify their defense a little, but a lot of their problems really were more on offense than they were on defense.
yeah.
So that's just my opinion on that. Who else do we got over there that's NFC that looks decent? I don't think
Carolina?
no,
No.
I don't think Giants aren't going to compete.
Giants? No.
Crazy take here.
Although maybe Giants might actually continue to get a little better.
I don't know. After what I read something that there's a little tiny bit, and this is part of my crazy take, a little bit of rumor that Baker Mayfield might find himself a Giant. How do you feel about that?
Who? Baker Mayfield? Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I heard about that.
Do you think it makes them better or worse? Don't know.
I don't know. I really don't. I mean, Daniel Jones can run better than Baker.
I think Daniel Jones throws better than Baker at times. At times, I don't know. We'll see.
But
good.
something can be said about low energy in comparison to Baker.
This is true. This is true. But yeah, I see what you mean. The 49ers, I guess I'm not as high on them because of they didn't add anybody to pick up the slack. We do have the June 2nd cut release time that's coming soon.
And you know what? I give you a lot of that, Ali. The only thing I would say is kind of like what Crypto says. It's not that we necessarily think they're going to do that. It's that the idea that that the default idea is that they're going to regress when they've shown no reason to make that assumption.
I see.
You know what I mean?
So you don't think changing the offensive coordinator and running a different scheme and going with a quarterback that isn't really proven
I'll
is
answer
going to
you
make
that.
you
I'll
regress?
answer you that in about 5 seconds. What was their record before last year? What was their 2020 record?
Give me a second. I can find out. They were 6-10.
Okay, what was their record before that? 19.
Oh, they were 13-3.
There you go.
That was the year they went to the Super Bowl, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. I agree. They could win at least 8 or 9 games. I
In
still
other words, they're more likely to be an 11-win team than a 6-win team
Hmm, I see.
because it's a lot different going 5-11 with whatever mitigating circumstances.
Hmm.
It's a lot to go 13-3. You have to do that. That's a proactive accomplishment,
Hmm.
which means that for whatever reason, they've shown the ability to do it.
Hmm.
And there's really no reason why their people who developed that team can't, continue that. So in other words, they had a great season like that. They had a crappy one, and now they've had a 10-7. Seems like they retooled and now they're back up to 10-7 to grow even more than that. That's what I would, as far as you know,
Hmm.
the humans natural pattern
Yeah.
seeing ability. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like,
see. I see your point. I see your point.
in other words, it's just not outrageous to think that they'll be fine. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
The
I
default
think
position should be that they should be fine.
yeah, I think they're one of those 50-50 teams. Either they're gonna do well or they
Hmm.
may have like a slight regression, you know.
Again, and I'm just saying the default opinion should be, the progression, not the
Mhm.
regression.
I understand. I get it.
But
Really quick,
subjective.
shout out to Q. I don't know if you saw the big news on your show Thursday night. Did you see it, Q? I'm sorry, did you see it, Color? Is what I
No,
missed.
no, I might have missed that.
Hit the breaking news for me. Will you hit the breaking? I got breaking news
I
for you.
sure can. Dun, 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 dun. Live breaking.
Breaking news, everybody. Q has said on live TV, on color commentary, he is now officially a Miami Dolphins fan. This is big. Do you see Color's face? This legitly happened. He's getting himself a Tua jersey, right? He's now already admitting that the Miami Dolphins will be beating the Steelers on that Sunday night game. That is live.
Damn!
Yes, shout out to Q in the comments. Uh, let's do the rundown and drop the link. We'll get people on it and we'll start talking crazy takes. I don't care how crazy yours are, mine. Let's share them. Let's talk about them. Okay. So, you ready for that?
Right on.
All right. So, we got Tonk 7 on TMI Tuesdays with Color. Check them out. They got some great content, good stuff to talk about. We got color commentary on Thursdays. Just remember, cooler color is better than color commentary. Just saying. No, I'm just kidding. Then we got on late night on Saturdays, we have late night exhale with myself in color. On Mondays or Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we got TFTG with El Capitan. Check them out. Don't forget to check a color commentary again. Yes, color commentary. Sometimes he tries to do open mic on Tuesdays, so you got to throw him out there twice. We also got, if you want to donate, make sure you donate to either Venmo or Cash App. We really appreciate it. Help out the channel. If you want to get any Dolphins gear, yes, Q, this is for you. If you want to get some Dolphins gear, use the link in the description below and go to Fanatics. They have everything. We also have some great merch, hats, sweatshirts, sandals, tank tops, and more. Some pretty cool stuff. They come in different color schemes as well. And color commentary is kind of cool on Thursdays, but only when it's with cooler color. Um, yes, yes. Oh, in light of some banter there, I have to advertise this. Next Saturday, people, you're going to want to be here. Tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your kids, tell everybody. It's Bring the Smoke Saturday. If you have friends from different teams, tell them about the show, tell them to come on. If you have, you want to bring smoke or want to show pride in the Dolphins against whatever team you want to talk smack, that's the show to do that on. Okay, bring everybody you want. We want to bring everybody on. Bring the smoke. Me and Color are going to be ready for it. Color already looks like he's scared, but that's okay. It'll be all right. He has pride, and he's gonna back up the Dolphins. I know.
Skip,
If
you better be bringing that Mountain Dew, Skip.
I got some Jets fans I'm inviting. I got some Giants fans. Hopefully they can come. I don't care. Q, if you know any fellow Steeler fans, tell them to come on. You're a Dolphin fan, so you probably don't know any Steeler fans anymore. So don't worry about that. But tell them to come to the show next Saturday. Bring the smoke Saturday here at Late Night Exhale.
We got an official challenge.
Ooh, yes, CT versus Q.
Chat to chat.
Put your bets in now. The over-under is 10 in CT's favor.
I don't even think he'll show.
What's the line on that? I want to know. All right. So color is down like 4 flat tires. Never scared. Oh, I love it. What a great show. Great comment. All right. Did we drop the link? Did we do that?
No, I didn't yet, but I certainly can here.
Did you want to say anything? Should we give out our crazy takes first? And
if you want,
right.
let me go ahead and
crazy take. You ready for this? I want to put it out. I'll put it out and everybody can talk about it. Broken takes. Let's do it. The Miami Dolphins have an argument to go 17-0 in the regular season. That is my broken take. Yes, we have the team, we have the players, we have the coaching staff that in the right manner can go 17-0 in the regular season. Right? And I can argue.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
Hey, man, Coach McDaniel has me believing I can do anything I want. That's right.
Storming the castle.
Think it'll work?
It would take a miracle.
Bye.
That's my first crazy take. Will it happen? I don't know, but it's hey, what's a crazy take if it was that easy to do? You know what I mean? So let's talk about it. Come on, share me yours, and we can debate them out. Whatever you want. Drop the link. Let's do it. Or you want to talk about colors first? What's your crazy take, Color?
My crazy take is that Tua Tagovailoa is traded after June 1st.
Oh, shit. All right. Color is dropping nuclear warfare right now. Everybody go on Twitter.
I mean, if I bet if I've already got my money on it, I better get my money's worth anyway and just roll with it. You know what I mean?
Man,
what if I'm right? I'm not trying to disparage Tua. I'm just saying, what if I'm right? Mm-hmm. I will have probably 30,000 people in the Dolphin community bowing to my feet on my channel. They'll be like, "This guy is God." Just saying.
That's true.
And then the other 30,000 would be like, "Oh, yeah. If you repeat something long enough and it happens, yeah, you were right."
Yeah, I understand. Color, I'm going to try to speak to Tuanon and see if, they'll come out and debate this with you.
If you're listening to this is to tell you that Color thinks that Tua is going to be traded by June 1st.
No, not by June 1st, after June 1st.
After June 1st, he's going to be traded. You should come out and talk to him about it.
So, wow. Yeah,
and I'm going purely on my experience of working for companies, and the types of decisions they make when there's personal issues between two people, HR issues, whatever you want to call them.
Can you highlight Bo's comment? He says for who Color? I want to answer that because I can tell you right now.
Oh. That's a good question.
Hold on. Let me answer this real quick because I got this. This was my crazy take, and it goes right into who I'm going to tell you. If it actually happens, and this is crazy, Lamar Jackson.
I was going to say the same thing, but I actually, in fairness to all the people who think that's a crazy take on my part, I haven't given it much thought, to be honest with you. Yeah. So that's why it's such a broken take.
Definitely. Drop that link, man. Let's get these people on. I want to talk about this nuclear bomb that you just dropped off.
Right on. Oh yeah, I forgot. Hold on a second. I'm sorry, guys. I'm working with a tough to click mouse. But no, I mean, it's just that if we were going to do it,
Mhm.
there's a plausible reason as to why we would have waited anyway. Even if we were planning on doing it originally or from
Uh,
the beginning, we would have had to wait till June 1st because that's
What's
how we save the
up,
most money.
Color? You're a wild man. I love you, but you're wild,
Oh
dude.
wow, who do we got here?
Well, Ali, we're doing
Bryson.
one by one, right?
We can.
It's up to you. I
How
just didn't
how
know
many
if
people
you.
we got in the back? How many people
We
we got?
got CT in the back right now.
You can go ahead and bring him on. What the hell?
Okay,
Let's just debate this out. Go ahead and bring CT.
right
CT,
on.
what's up, man? What's up, everybody? Let's start off with you said it was Bryson. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right. Let's start off with you. What do you think about Color? What Color said?
I just think that like they've been pretty clear on how they want things to go, meaning like the new coach and the new regime and how they like
Mhm.
Tua. I mean, Daredevil has said a lot about him, Frank Smith, and I just feel like that would be so out of character.
Mhm.
And I think just with all the questions the national media has on Ross and everything, I think it would just if they did something that crazy. I mean, like I know we had a debate the other day about Teddy Bridgewater, but like I mean, the dude's he's a good quarterback. I've seen what he did with the Saints and it was awesome, but like, he is a backup at this point in time in his career. I just think it'd be wild not to give Tua that shot with this roster. I mean, if he can't do it with this roster, Color, I'm there with you, but we need to at least see what he
No,
can
I'm
do with
not
this
saying they
roster.
would. But see, that's where everybody gets me wrong.
No, you're not
I'm
saying it's
not
going to
saying
happen. It's a crazy take. Yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah.
That too. That's not. I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that everybody gets me wrong. They assume that I mean we would trade Tua because we don't think he's good or that we're off of him or anything like that.
Uh-huh.
I simply think that there's a plausible argument to be made to trade him after June 1st if there was somebody else that we could bring in that we did believe more in, and that if it meant that financially our team was in a better position, because of it in the next,
Uh-huh.
let's say in the next range of time, X range of time. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think the team would throw everything they've said to us out the window in a heartbeat and do it if it was the
So it
right thing to
matters
do from the business perspective.
for sure. You would just have to see who's that quarterback that they'd be willing
Mhm.
because we could say all day, but we would need an example of like
I,
a quarterback.
and another thing is it's also reminding everybody that there is so much time from now till game one. That is not the craziest thing that's ever happened in this league
No, but it would probably be one of the craziest things to happen like
in a long time, probably.
in a
Yeah.
long time, at least with our organization. And they've
Wait,
also
well,
said,
wait, they're good with our organization because
yeah,
I seem to recall Arizona doing the same thing a couple years ago.
yes,
Yep.
but that was pre-draft, and it's because they wanted Kyler. Like there was a specific person they were going
But in
for.
their case, it could have been that. But again, what if there is a person we're going for? My point is that
The way they're
just be,
talking about him and the way the last regime is talked about him is just completely two different worlds. I mean, they actually say positive.
Cliff Kingsbury put on a straight face in front of a camera and told him that Josh Rosen was their guy.
No. I'm talking about okay, but I'm not talking about Cliff. I'm talking screw the Cardinals. I'm sorry if anyone's a Cardinals fan, but I'm talking
I
about
was only backing up my
Mike.
point that that's not the craziest
Yeah,
thing that's ever happened in the league,
for
and it's
sure.
happened
But
recently in the league.
Cardinal fans,
it,
if you're listening, come to next Saturday's show. He just called you out.
my thing is like if you look at how the Flores, and I'm not saying Brian Flores alone, but the Flores regime treated Tua and like with the media and how they talked about him and how
How did Flores treat Tua?
he's our quarterback. I don't know what to tell you. He's our quarterback. That was how that conversation went. Where now it's like, yeah, this guy is really like they have said so many more positive things about him, in my opinion, than the Flores regime ever
So
did.
you're saying that? So you could just be saying, basically, what you're saying could apply to both my position and your position, because if what you're saying is true, they could have very well been upset with Flores for not going so gung ho and ruining the trade value of their quarterback.
So
Um,
I'm gonna put a little snitch, not snitch, a little stitch in this art debate we're having here. So there is a team that has actually asked us about Tua and
Okay.
has been supposedly, even though it looked like they were after Deshaun Watson, there's rumors, like actual truth behind it, that they were more interested in Tua than they were Deshaun Watson, and that was the Panthers.
mhm.
So what would we get back for him, even if we trade him? What would be getting back?
And this is a Tua fan.
Capital enough to get a guy. Well, capital. Who says we need to get anything back in the quarterback room?
Would you just trade him for what's his
I
name,
wouldn't trade him
McCaffrey?
at all. I think he has too much. Like you never. First off,
Are
the
you about
draft.
to say upside? You saying we can't trade? We can't get good value for somebody with such good upside?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you don't always get like.
If
First off,
everybody
the
in the league
draft.
agreed with the Miami Dolphins, we would have had people beating down the door for Tua.
For sure. Well, we weren't the only ones that wanted Tua that draft.
But
That's for sure.
it would be more odd for me to think that the Miami Dolphins and their executives can't see that
Mm-hmm.
and take that
What?
and
Sorry.
factor that into their calculus that nobody's beating down the door for him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just because it's a different situation now. I mean, like.
Yeah, the
Like-
different situation is they don't have any obligation to Tua and ears.
Well, I mean, I think that Chris Greer's obligation to Tua because that's his job. If it doesn't work,
I don't think he has an obligation to Tua. I think his obligation is to Tua and ears.
I don't think they care about that much as much as you think they do.
I believe
think
you would
they-
be surprised to hear that they do.
I think,
and I actually
think
have a source that confirmed that is true.
yeah. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, I've definitely been wrong before. I'm just saying, I think that they care more about winning than they do. Because winning anything, if we win games, it doesn't matter if you were a fan of Tua or not.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be happy,
Sure.
right? Winning
I
heals
agree.
all.
And all I'm saying is given enough how much time is left from now until
Yeah.
the start of the season, and given the fact that we are clear and free, practically after June 1st to trade him.
I just think that it would be a dumb investment. Like you got to name a person for me to be like, oh wow, that would make sense. But right now, there is a lot of upside that we don't know. There's untapped potential with Tua right now because of what was around him. And if you just look at our offensive scheme only, regardless of players, it's just our offensive scheme is going to be better this year. Period.
Sure.
That's just what it is, you know.
But again, to point out what we mentioned earlier, that's irrelevant to whether it's Tua at quarterback or not.
Yes, but they also feel that their new scheme is Tua's strong suit.
Mm-hmm.
What if they felt? Yeah, but their new scheme is make as much money as we can.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And
that's
if
just
that means
corporate America.
if their calculus determines that some move needs to be made on, let's say, June 28th,
Mm-hmm.
which is an entire month from now,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm just suggesting that what they've said about Tua in the past publicly will factor zero into that calculus. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
For sure. I think you just have to tell me a player, like name me a quarterback to where that would be, because in my opinion, there's nobody on the market right now.
I know there's not. But see, you're still.
Of course, if we're gonna get Josh Allen, obviously.
You're switching back to the perspective that it matters if we get better at quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
All we have
obviously
to do is stay.
I've always had that.
Let's say no, but what I'm saying is, let's say that there's profit to be made by trading Tua after June 1st.
Yes.
For whatever reason.
Yes.
Okay. However the deal is done, there's profit to be made.
Okay.
And the quarterback that we get instead is equal to Tua. How do you not make that move?
So.
How do you not make that move? You would be committing business malpractice not to make that move.
That's a good point.
Again, what you're forgetting is that it matters who it is. Like, obviously, like if you're just
It
making,
doesn't.
like,
Do we agree that it doesn't? Do we agree that
we don't agree. We do not.
No,
agree.
okay. So then you think that it's only because of Tua that our star-studded offense is going to go.
No. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that for us to move off Tua, we would need a very good replacement.
Why?
Because you would need to be confident that we spent a.
What if we made profit out of it, though?
Pick.
What if the upside was profit, though?
Color, what you're not understanding is like it matters what like that's very subjective. Like, are we getting profit? Because like everyone has their different opinions. Like, for instance,
I'm talking about if a team made a trade with us where our salary cap increased significantly. That's what I mean by profit.
Okay, yeah. So I don't necessarily care about the cap space if that's what we're talking about.
I'm not asking what you care about. I'm asking what you think the organization cares about.
No, I think they obviously care more about the player than the cap space.
Than money. Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Hey, that's a fair opinion, man. That's all I wanted to get. That's all. The only point I wanted to get is that fair opinion. You know what I mean? Appreciate that.
While we have that, CT, I want to give CT a chance.
I'm not trying to I'm just trying to have fun with the topic. Broken takes. You know what I mean?
It is. I think it's awesome.
Definitely.
I guess I'm trying to
bringing the drama already on the very first one.
I guess you could say I'm trying to steel man the haters. Yeah.
I didn't hear what you said, CT. Say that again.
No, I was saying you were trying to make it fun, and then here comes drama on the very first one.
It's because
drama.
Color had to drop a
nuclear
bomb.
I know. It's just. The whole thing is it's just the fiery passion of both sides.
Since my speech has been chilled for the last month and a half, I've had a lot to say that I haven't been able to say, and I just think it's fair that I finally get an opportunity to say what really needs to be said.
This is the
no. I agree with you, Color. All I was saying was I just thought it was funny because it was meant to be lighthearted.
I
guess then it turns into like
no, I get it. But somebody in chat pointed out, oh, here we go again with this subject, and it's like, well, if you all wouldn't have chilled my speech for the last month and a half, we wouldn't have to be having this discussion over and over and over again. Yeah. Don't do it again. Don't make me feel like I can't talk about something, and I won't have to bottle it up.
No, you don't have to bottle up here, man. This is the place where you can let everything off your chest.
Of course.
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding, really. But I mean, honestly, guys, let's this is the stuff that makes the fan base's head explode when it happens, and none of us were prepared for it because we can't think logically from a business perspective.
Yeah, I understand. I understand what you mean by profiting wise. I get what you're talking about, and it could be butts in the seats. It could be T-shirt sales. There's a lot of different profiting you can make off of trading a player like that out of nowhere. And I understand what he's saying, but I want to give CT definitely a chance here. Go ahead, CT. What you got? What do you think about Color's take? My take? What do you have a different take? What do you got?
I love Color's take. And I love yours too. I mean, hey, the whole point of it is out there stuff. And I mean, some of it's bound to happen. The laws of statistics say something crazy is going to happen. And so you never know. It could be a player. It could be a surprise team. It can be.
I just can't get over that Gesicki, that cryptic post from Gesicki about throwing the ball 40 times a game. I really can't. I'm sorry. Somebody still has to explain that to me.
It's been bothering him for a while.
Hey, maybe Crypto can because he's changed his ratio from 100 to 0.
Okay.
So maybe he knows why Mike Gesicki made that comment.
Yeah, Crypto's about to go winter storm on everybody after the nuclear fallout. Go ahead. What do you got, Crypto?
Yeah, that 100 to 0 now will be applied to Gesicki in this situation.
Oh, snap. That's breaking news. He changed his number. Somebody slam that down.
They will have to at least give it to change that number. They will have to hand the ball off at least once. But hey,
Ali, real quick, we got Q, Iceman, Lewis, and Tony left and back. You want me to bring everybody on, or
let's bring the winter fallout?
I I would say this color. I would add to your
What's
to
going
kind of
on,
add.
boys?
What's up,
Going on?
Q?
I'm going to add something to what Cutler said, but I'm going to go in the other
Wagwan.
direction. I'm going to go in the other direction with the broken take. If we lose game 1 of this season, that will be a death spiral. We will win more than 4 games the rest of the way.
I'm
Oh,
gonna have to agree with
no.
that. I do not see us losing whatsoever, but
Wow.
I have to
I
agree
don't
with
see
it.
that happening either, Ali. I
It
don't
will
see that
start a
happening at
death
all.
spiral of losses
We're playing Buffalo week
perpetually.
1, right?
We're
No,
playing Patriots.
Oh, we're
Patriots.
playing
if that New
Patriots. Okay,
England
okay.
will
And
start a
I don't
death
know why we thought
spiral.
we were
If we
playing
lose that
Buffalo.
game
yeah,
Oh my
1,
goodness.
that will be a death spiral.
this
That
is
will
That is
that
crazy,
will
bro.
just
that
so you
would
know.
go to but epic proportions. Well,
Mhm.
we will not even win no more than 4 games.
Yeah, real quick before
Crystal.
anybody else continues, hold on, Q, hold on, real quick, just so
Okay,
you
okay.
guys know, it is my mission to make sure that we can get as many Dolphin fans in the stadium for that game, week 1, as much as possible. Right?
Well,
I don't care.
in
Go ahead.
fairness to the people that disagree with me on that, because of that point, we've had no problems, dude. Based on what it looks like,
Mhm.
the initial returns on at least game 1 with the Patriots.
Yeah. So
The stadium is going to be jam packed. It's going to be
yeah,
Yep.
so I'm
totally
trying to get
sold
as
out.
many Patriots fans, unlike
It's
previous
already
years where
almost
we
there.
had more Patriots fans in the stadium versus Dolphin fans. I want the reverse. So
Well, but
if,
what I
if
was
there's
saying was, I think
go
it's because of how many season tickets they sold this
that
off
is that
season,
it could be very
which
possible. That could be very possible. But if there are tickets available, check out Ticketmaster, check out StubHub, check out all these sites. Get your ticket. Come to that game and support our team on. That's just my own side mission that I'm trying to get as many people to go as possible. That's all.
but given that the season tickets are already sold,
Hmm.
Yes. Yes.
they can do whatever they want, politically speaking, in the building. As far as toward the fan base, if they got to do whatever they got to do. So, as far as what they've said to the fan base about backing Tua and all that, they have complete leverage since they've already sold the tickets they need to sell.
So you're saying they've already made the money; they can do whatever the heck they want.
Right. Because if the season ticket holders have to end up selling their tickets because they don't like the fact that Tua's not playing,
Hmm.
there's still going to be somebody there to buy them.
Yeah,
I have
And
one thing with that.
there's still going to be somebody there to go to the stadium and
I
pay
have one thing
$10
with
for a
that.
soda.
Okay.
So I get what you're saying, but you have to think about it as like a business, and the fans are shareholders, right? You want to keep the shareholders happy. That's really all like companies will do.
I'm saying there's
So
40,000 more to fill those seats right behind them. They will
I
sell
know,
their
but
season
it's
tickets, and
only
there will be
gonna make them
40,000
more
more
money if they
shareholders.
win,
Yes,
right?
that's good points.
I got you there, but at the same time, we have agreed already that an equal skill level at quarterback will win the same amount of games given this offense we have,
Mhm.
given the team we have.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If you don't
I mean,
agree with that,
obviously,
say you
though.
don't agree with that. You know what
No,
I mean?
I don't disagree with that. I just don't think we know how good Tua really is.
Mhm.
But there are others that we know are as good as Tua was last year, and we only
Yeah,
need
but
to
I
be
think Tua's gonna take a leap.
but we only need our quarterback to be as good as he was last year.
That is true. He was on the right path to actually.
Otherwise, we would have never thought to go with him
Yes.
again.
Okay, I see what
Yeah.
you're saying
So,
now. Okay.
I want to
Yeah,
give
they're
everybody a
just equal
chance here.
skill
So
set.
let's start with Lewis. Let's go Lewis, then we'll go across to Tony, and then up to Q, and then back over to CT and Crypto. So go ahead, Lewis. What you got for us?
Hey, Ali and Color, thanks for bringing me on. Everybody in the panel, what's going on?
Thank you,
How
Lewis,
much?
for
Man, what's
coming,
going
man.
on?
What's happening? What's
Happy
Hey,
happening?
Memorial Day, everybody.
likewise. Hey, this is Crazy Take Saturday. So here's my Crazy Take. This is the Q from Pittsburgh, right? This is a Pittsburgh fan that just
Well, now
converted.
he's
Yeah,
a Dolphin fan.
Yes,
Breaking
sir.
news. He's
Yes,
a
sir,
Dolphin
bro.
fan.
Yes, sir.
So we got 2 Qs
Uh,
a part of the family now.
Bet. Hey, Q, this is my Crazy Take. I'm gonna go back to my question that I asked Color and Ali earlier. I'm gonna give one of my first round picks to Pittsburgh to bring Flores back, either as my DC or head coach.
Whoa. Whoa. That is crazy.
Oh my, that's a
I,
good one.
Crazy.
That's a
I don't
good one,
know.
Hey,
Lewis.
hold
That
on,
was
guys.
perfect.
I gotta
Try
thank
it.
That
Lewis.
was
I gotta
perfect.
thank Lewis because I got to thank Lewis because I think I got in too deep with that Tua take.
Hey,
I really didn't want to go there. I wanted to back right out of it, and I think you just
address
helped
that,
me.
bro.
I'm here for you,
Real
Color.
quick,
I'm here for you,
Lewis.
baby.
That's a good one,
Lewis.
Color. I like that. I mean, that's a good one,
Lewis,
Lewis.
that-
You got rebuttal by Q. Go
that
ahead,
is a
Q.
I
good
thought
thing.
my 4-win
That is-
projection was gonna be something, but that one was good.
that is a crazy thing, bro. But let me tell you something. What makes you think Flores wants to come back?
No, I didn't say he wants to come back. I want him back.
He'll
That's the
be
problem.
trading
I
back.
want him.
But
Right.
he's not coming back, bro.
Man,
It doesn't
He's coming
matter.
back, man.
It
He's
depends.
coming back, Q.
I'm
He
putting
is
it
not
into
coming back,
existence.
bro.
And-
After
hey,
all the things that Miami put him through, he's not coming back, bro.
Hey,
Yeah.
and
He's not
actually,
They've
coming
already
back.
made amends. They made amends already. They met on
Doesn't
yachts.
matter. What happened happened.
They met on a yacht already, Q.
hey,
No.
and
What I'm
actually,
saying, you can't change the fact that what happened to him.
yeah, it happened. Yeah, no. And actually,
So it's not going to
when-
persuade him, or want. He's not going to want to come back, bro. He's already been through the Miami organization.
Yeah,
He's already been
I
through
know.
hell. He's been, criticized, and he's been, in the spotlight.
You're right. Let's see what you got. Hit me. I'm open. Hi. That's why. Now sit down and shut up.
It slipped. I just ate popcorn. Why don't you shut up before I slit your throat?
I'm gonna get on this take.
That was actually Flores emulating Corn.
I want to get on this take real quick.
I need that.
Instead of trading for Flo with a first round pick, what about trading for Mika Fitzpatrick if we're going to move off Byron Jones with the first round pick?
Oh, Mika for a first with Flo as a package deal.
No. We don't
Let
need
me tell you
Flo.
something, Ali.
What I'm saying is,
trying to get Minka.
Go ahead.
If you're trying to get Minka, it is plausible. It is possible because we still haven't signed him to a long-term deal. So if you can, present him with a long-term deal, present the Steelers with a viable, a good, trade, I think that's possible. Especially with Flores over there. So.
We all know the whole story about what happened between Mika and Flo. They don't get along. They have different opinions on a lot of stuff. So let's say we want to move off of Byron Jones. The rumors are we tried to, but he did the thing with the surgery and we couldn't really move off of him, right? And there's all that rumor going on. So if we're gonna lose Byron Jones, why not bring Mika back, who wanted to play corner and just corner in the first place? You know what I mean? It's kind of a win-win in a situation.
Well, I wanted to point out something real quick on that line. I saw an article written about 3 days ago over on SI from Dante Collinelli, and the headline reads, "Who will step up as fourth Dolphins cornerback?" So I know we're talking about a different position, but what I'm saying though is that there's plenty of people talking about definitely our secondary not being complete. I mean, I don't know. I know Q's right about them having contract.
Hold on,
dispute
Q.
right
I want to
now.
give everybody a chance. I will get to you. I promise. Okay.
And I don't see it as an odd take at all that we could pick him back up.
Yeah, I guess that's really not a crazy take. I just think it makes sense in a weird way. But I want to keep moving on to the next person. Iceman, what's up, buddy? How you been?
What is
and
good?
what takes you got for us? What do you got for us tonight?
Oh, I want to hear Iceman's. Sure.
First, I start off. I want to say shout out to all those Boston fans. Appreciate you guys for talking all that smack. Draymond Green, shout out to you. We coming for you tomorrow night. All right, forget about the Heat now. Just wanted to say that off my chest. But yeah, honestly, going back to Mika Fitzpatrick, that's a crazy one right there. I could see that because he never had any animosity for the front office. So, it wasn't them. It was, like you said, Brian Flores. I like that. But with Tua as well, going into January, you could trade him. I could see that because there's been speculation with Lamar Jackson possibly coming to Miami, home native Miami, Floridian. So that could be a big possibility. But I also like someone that we're not talking about in the draft, because if Tua doesn't pan out, yeah, his brother Talil, he's okay from Maryland, but I'd rather go and get the guy from Michigan that no one even knows his name. His name is Andre. I forget his last name, but his name is Andre something. and he's pretty damn good for Michigan. And he's pretty skinny, but he kind of reminds you of a little bit of baby Tom Brady. To take a look at Michigan highlight quarterback, you see who he is. He's not that bad. But that's one thing. Like, we could go off of Tua. Now, it would be heartbreaking to see Tua go. But the question is, I have one question. Who would you guys want him to go to? That's my question. Like, who can we get the biggest pick from?
It'd have to be I mean, I think the only player involved would be Carolina. I mean, does anybody really think they're riding with Sam Darnold?
Detroit?
No, I don't think Detroit is. Well,
No. There's been rumors now that Detroit's going after. Who was it? Oh, dang! I just saw an article about it. Shit, who was it?
CJ Stroud?
No. It was no. Give me a second on that. Keep talking.
CJ Stroud is who I want. If we're moving off and we're getting another rookie, CJ Stroud is the quarterback that I want.
No,
I am very high on him.
Will Levis.
Well,
Levi.
you can't go wrong with the next.
Oh, Jimmy G.
Oh,
there's talks now about there's rumors flying about Jimmy G going to Detroit with Debo.
Oh, for a trade or package trade?
Yeah, you have.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that doesn't happen. Debo goes to Dallas if he gets traded.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that.
Whoa.
And there's been rumors about that recently too.
Well, what about Goff back in
That's
San
a hot
Francisco?
take.
Would that be? I mean, would that be an upgrade from Jimmy G?
I don't think San
No.
Francisco would take Goff. I think they'd take their draft picks and let Goff become like a backup to whoever that quarterback would be.
Depends on. I guess that would depend on how they
Detroit,
truly feel
Goff
about
is in
Trey
Detroit.
Lance. You know what I mean?
I feel that Trey Lance, yeah.
Because I do think Goff is better than Jimmy G. That's just my opinion. And I'm sure half the league agrees.
He has a strong
Guys,
arm.
the
Goff
reason why
has a
I said
strong.
Tua to Detroit, I understand you guys don't. Honestly, I think it would be benefit him to be playing in the dome and stuff like that.
Dry
where
hands.
The elements don't affect him. Do you get a quarterback like Tua that everybody criticizes how his arm strength is and how strong his arm is would benefit playing in the dome like New Orleans, Dallas, or what's it called?
So who else?
Arizona.
Who else with Detroit that's worth it could be packaged with Goff for a trade for outright for Tua? Maybe Tua and Gesicki.
Yeah.
Tua and Gesicki for Panay Sewell.
Hey, no, give me TJ Hookenstall,
That's a hot
whatever his
take.
name is.
No, well, if we're going with Detroit, I want their quarterback. No, if we're going with Detroit, I want their quarterback.
Goff.
I just no.
Could it have always been Goff?
I think Jimmy G should be a trade for Miami. Like, I think there's more. That would be a decent fit for.
I don't know,
but
man.
that's
I
like
don't know,
Ridley.
man. His taste in I'm just gonna say it. His taste in women is not compatible with Miami.
He'd be going to Club Live.
I know what his taste is. I know what his taste is too.
He'd be going to Club Live downtown Miami.
I mean, this was publicly reported. It's nothing that I'm besmirching him with or slandering him on. You know what I mean? This was publicly reported.
His girls that he likes to date are in a certain industry. Let's put it that
Yeah,
way.
and they're also not. They're
They
also
call him
from a
porn star
certain.
Jimmy for a reason.
Well, but wait a minute. They're also.
Jimmy for a reason.
No, well, that's Jimmy. That's Jimmy G string, by the way, Tony. But similar enough. Yeah. But we're not. But we also got to talk about the vector that those particular women come from, as far as in that industry. There's a particular vector that's respected, and there's a particular vector that's less respected in that industry.
Guys, this is a serious.
Let's actually go to Tony Manzano anyway. What do you got for us, Tony?
Yeah, I don't know.
Before I give you guys my take, I have some exciting news. I'm becoming an uncle soon. My sister.
Yeah, we saw that.
Congratulations, man.
Congrats, bro.
Congratulations.
Yeah, no, and for me, I would rather, instead of getting an older quarterback like an Aaron Rodgers or a Tom Brady, I would actually want to get the guy that we should. I'm not gonna say Tyler Van Dyke, but Will Levis from Kentucky because of the competitions he's facing in the SEC. Like the kid from Kentucky, he has a strong arm. and stuff like that. And Color, I have a question for you.
Fascinating.
You guys were talking about Belichick and Brady and stuff like that, and they're that's why Tom. Do you guys think that's why Jimmy Johnson and Dan Marino didn't get along because they had such big egos and stuff like that?
Of course.
Yeah. That's
Dan Marino simply wanted to sling the ball around, and Jimmy Johnson ain't like that.
No. Jimmy's the one reason got Dan out of there quicker than we didn't want, honestly, in my opinion. Dan could have
Fatality.
more.
Yeah, but listen, but I'm a big Dolphin fan, and I love Marino. I got Marino jerseys, I got posters, but in Jimmy Johnson's defense, and I'm not saying that Jimmy wasn't wrong, but in his defense, if Jimmy would have got Marino in year, let's say 5 in 87, 88,
he would have won a Super Bowl.
I think he would have done wonders with Marino. But let's just be honest. When Jimmy got there, Marino was kind of on his back leg. Marino wasn't the same. So Jimmy Johnson was trying to bring his element, defense, hard rows, running and stuff. So that's the only. I'm not trying to defend Jimmy, but let's just.
I'm going to follow that up. I'm going to follow that up with another broken take. I'm going to follow that up with a broken take. I think there is more of a case to be made and more evidence to show that Jimmy Johnson sabotaged Marino. I'd say that before I'd say Flores sabotaged Tua.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah. 62 to 7. Come on.
That was sabotage. There you go.
35-0 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And and somebody's gonna expect me to believe that after the career Dan Marino had, that he would ever have one game getting outscored 35-0 in the first quarter. I'll never believe it. Jimmy Johnson, I'm gonna say it right now.
As well.
Jimmy Johnson sabotaged Dan Marino.
Wow.
There you go.
In Jacksonville.
Q, what do you do?
Right there.
Let me make my crazy take. Because we have what we have going on right now. Color wants to trade Tua. Ali.
Whoa!
Hold up. Chill out, bro. Chill out. Let me say what I have to say.
No, you can't. No, because what you have to say means nothing if you're going to start it with what you said.
Hold up.
He's just kidding. He's just kidding. Calm down.
Hold up.
You're trolling. All right.
Calm down, bro. You need to chill out, bro. Smoke some weed.
I got you.
Bro.
I got you.
So you want to trade Tua or not trade Tua? You said Tua will be traded before June, right? Ali wants Minka back.
God, you guys have a terrible time listening, man. Jeez.
Hold up, bro.
Pull the wax out of your ear, bro.
Chill, bro. Chill. Let me make this crazy take. You want Minka, I want Tua. Trade Tua to Pittsburgh for Minka. But Tua is nearly not enough trade value for Minka. So I want Byron Jones along with Tua.
Wait a minute. Now you're being more a Tua hater than me. I want it the other way around.
Hey, if that's how you see it.
For Tua,
that's how you see it. Whatever floats your boat, you know what I'm saying?
I want Minka. Okay.
That's my crazy take right there, bro.
How about this?
That's my crazy take.
How about this? I want Minka and Trubisky.
Nah, you're not getting Trubisky, bro. You already got Teddy, bro, and you got Anderson, Skylar Johnson.
How about Minka and TJ
Thompson, bro? Now Minka and crazy, TJ. Bro. I always knew you was an old fart. I didn't know you was crazy. It
is broken takes, dude. It is broken takes, man.
Oh man. Let's go. CT, did you ever give us a take?
No, I didn't get my crazy take, but
go ahead.
I don't know, man. My shit ain't gonna come close to these guys. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll be the devil's advocate for Color, and I'll say that Miami wins the Super Bowl, Tua MVP, Holland is going to be Defensive Player of the Year, and we're going to go 17-0.
I forgot about Javon Holland.
All of the above. He ended up playing in a bunch of them.
That would have been in defense of Ali's take, but thank you anyway, CT.
Speaking of Javon Holland, crazy
Oh,
take. Javon Holland will be on the next Dancing with the Stars season, and he'll be the winner. That's my crazy take right there. And if you know and you've watched the Miami Dolphins,
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah.
so you'll know
I
exactly.
saw that.
where
I
I'm
saw
coming
that, Ali.
Hey,
So
Robert
CT,
Hunt,
have you
That's the
made
answer.
your bet at 75-1 yet on the Tua MVP take?
Nah, I'm not. You know, I'm not allowed to bet. So
Oh, right. Oh, that's
Oh,
right. That's right.
That's right. I forgot about that.
I
hey,
forgot. Yeah.
CT and
I
Allie,
wish
you're
I
asking
could,
for-
man, because sometimes that shit'll be like taking candy from a baby.
Lewis, what did you have? What's going on?
No, I was just saying. I was just gonna tell CT we only asked for one crazy comment, not 5 of them.
Crypto,
Hey,
did you
but
have
the
a
thing
crazy
is, I had to be more bold than everybody else, and
know.
I couldn't really beat it. So
Well,
I
that's what
decided to go
Broken
all
Takes
out.
is all about. Broken Takes is all about go big or go
Broke
home.
it.
Right?
I got a crazy
Exactly.
take.
Look, I already caused one viewer to. I already caused
Exactly.
one viewer to go to bed for the night.
That's crucial.
I'm
Crypto,
still
what do you got?
here.
What's crazy on your end? What's your end? What do you got?
No, I said it earlier when I said when I opened up and said if we lose that first game to the Patriots, it causes a death spiral. We win no more than 4 games.
About
Our
that. About that.
regret
I don't.
decision.
our whole season hinges on the Patriots game.
I don't know how you see
Wow.
how you see the Dolphins losing that game, bro.
I didn't say
even
you're not
especially.
listening.
No, he's
Are
not
you
saying
listening?
that. He's saying if we do lose it.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's going to be a
if
complete catastrophe. Yeah.
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, I don't,
okay.
yeah, that's true.
Ron, where are you?
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
Give me the Cowboys and Dolphins.
You're not listening. I said if we lose that game,
I got a
that
subject for you
causes the
guys.
death spiral.
That's true. I could see how that could really mess up with everything because it'll mess. It can mess with the whole momentum. It could mess with the coaching. It creates new issues, new questions, and that's gonna be a lot of heat on the Dolphins. To be honest, if that
You want
happens.
to hear something crazy?
Okay, I'm listening. This is the show for it.
Check this out. 1971, we lost to the Dallas Cowboys, first Super Bowl ever. Not 2022 has a nice ring to it. 2023, you guys say Tua likes to play in the dome, right? With dry hands. I say he gets injured in week 8. Teddy comes out, shines like all more. We repeat history. Face the Dallas Cowboys because what they did to us was disrespectful. In 1971, they beat us in the Super Bowl. So the only way to honor that 1972 team is to say, hey, you guys couldn't beat the Cowboys. We got your back. Why don't we beat them for you and go undefeated and do the unthinkable? Why not? In Arizona, and Tua comes back in the Super Bowl and does exactly what he did with Alabama. Comes right in, throws a touchdown to whoever, and shocks the world and says, hey, we just got it. Could be.
No, it sound like
I'm a little
sound like
jacked up
Back
on
to the
this.
Future, and you reading that from Alma.
A fucking 10. Gentlemen.
That's right.
Ten.
So I got a not necessarily a crazy take. I have a crazy subject, and I kind of think that it should be allowed in certain circumstances because of how things have gone. And I'll bring this up. It doesn't have to do with the NFL specifically, but we can talk about the world of sports. Okay. So, in light of more recent history, fans have been getting more and more involved in games. Let it be altercations, let it be verbal abuse, let it be throwing beers at players and whatnot. And it goes all the way back down to like the Browns game. I think it was against Jacksonville. The people in the dog pound were throwing batteries and radios and anything they could, beer bottles. That's another reason why they don't have glass bottles or allow, in some stadiums don't even allow you to use the bottle. You have to pour it into a plastic cup, technically, when you go to sit down. So in light of that, and actually more recently in a baseball game, I forgot, it was the Guardians versus the Yankees. The Yankees won. The Cleveland outfielders were leaving, and the fans started throwing stuff at them. You know, so I heard it was this one of the players.
Are you stupid or something?
Stupid is, stupid does, sir.
So my question is, should players, because they seem to be a target of these things, be allowed to fight with fans?
Can I go first?
Go ahead. Go for it.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm just gonna tell you because the way I was brought up, and I'm not saying I'm a thug or gangster or nothing, none of that, because I'm not. I got kids. I love to be respectable, but if I'm at a bar, I don't think someone next to me is gonna throw a beer at me, or if I'm face to face. As far as like the players, I have no problem with players coming back at reporters or like fans. If you throw something at me, a beer, maybe okay, whatever, we can let it slide. I'm not saying I would, but like to your point, Ali, like throwing batteries and stuff, batteries can actually kill you if it hits you in the right spot. I'm sorry. Fans have every right to protect themselves. If you're throwing stuff at me and you're affecting my security, like I feel threatened, I'm sorry, I got to come at you. I don't care if I'm a sports player or not. You can call me whatever you want, but I'm coming after you. I'm sorry.
Because
that's crazy how some fans
I can't
just
remember.
do that.
Was it recently? I think it was like Ron Artest that had an issue with a fan back in the day.
And
back in the
Detroit,
day,
Detroit.
Yeah. Then they also have Westbrook. Is it Russell Westbrook? Yeah, Westbrook.
Yeah, Westbrook
had issues constantly the last 2 years when he was in Oklahoma in the playoffs. Fans getting in his face. I'm sorry, but there's a point to be made that you need to chill. These are professionals. They're playing a game. Even if your team loses, it doesn't give you the right to attack them. Regardless. Even more recently with was it Chris Paul? I think. Yeah, CP3 had an issue with his mom and a fan. That stuff is kind of messed up, man. I think we should empower the players to protect themselves. Yes, there is a limit of what they should do, but that was like, for example, that Guardians versus, and I'm saying Guardians, but they're now the Guardians. They used to be the Cleveland Indians, if you didn't know. When they played Major League Baseball, they were like literally throwing stuff at the one player, like a whole crowd. It wasn't just one person. It was the entire like bleachers of people doing this. I think they should hold these people responsible. I would find out who these people are and ban them. I'm a big fan of another sport. A lot of people know here I love soccer, for example. And I know I'm going to get a lot of heat for this, but I'm actually not a Miami fan. I'm an Orlando City fan, right? Orlando City was involved in a situation like this because of how bad calls were being made by referees, that the entire stadium started throwing beer bottles and beers and sodas and junk onto the pitch.
A 10! A 10! A fucking 10! Gentlemen.
They actually, because they thought this was the team itself thought it was very disrespectful, regardless of what side of it they were on, they actually used the FBI and went after these people that they found that they could identify that were doing this, and they've banned them from the stadium. You think?
I decked my ass. We nailed that son of a bitch.
Yeah. So, so that being said, I think that the players should be empowered to protect themselves, but there's a limit of what they should be able to do versus what happened to them. You know what I mean? If somebody throws a battery at me, yeah, I'm going to be very upset and I'm going to go confront the person, definitely. But I also don't think...
Get it? There is a darkness inside of me. It wants to get out, wants to walk around. It wants some walking around money, and it wants to buy some shoes, and it wants to walk up with the people and say, hey, Gator don't play no shit. You feel me? Gator never been about that. Never been about playing no shit.
So anyway, what I was trying to say is that if someone threw a beer at me, yeah, I guess I could let it go. But throwing batteries or something hard that you can hurt me, that's where I have an issue, and that's where I think it's fair game at that point. That's just my opinion. What do you think? What do you got, Color? What do you think? What do you think?
For sure.
Man, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to know because I've never had that kind of money, and I really don't know how much that money would make, how much thicker my skin it would make my skin. You know what I mean? We're all human though, and we all can only take so much. And I don't think it's right for the fans to be able to hide behind it, like hide their humanity behind the fact that they're separate from the players, and vice versa, and can just say and do whatever they want. I mean, say maybe, say what they want, maybe do what they want. No, I mean, when you're physically attacking somebody, something could be said for the player being able to exercise his right to self-defense. You know what I mean? If you're throwing batteries at people, so it's one of those things. I mean, honestly, I think maybe it could be argued that there could be a better job done at removing people in those situations or holding them accountable. I don't know. I mean, it goes along the same lines of if there's nobody enforcing the rules, if these people ain't being held accountable for nothing, then obviously somebody has to hold them accountable, and the person that's being victimized will end up being the one doing that. And whether it's wrong or right, it's a human reaction and it's natural, so it's hard to blame some of these guys when they react to the fans. When from the business perspective, you think they're really not supposed to, you know what I mean? But I don't know. It's
what
hard to
I'm
say.
crazy about. I'm kind of crazy about that because like when fans like throw bottles or whatever at players, that's dangerous for their health and all that. But the one thing I'm scared about is what happens if a fan and another fan are fighting. That's when it gets serious because they get so intense. Like when the Jets
It's
come to
happened
Miami and
before,
get
bro.
drunk and they pregame in Miami,
But
all they're trying to do is fight us at the end of the game. So that's
yeah,
like
and I guess my
That's
only
happened before.
concern is where's the fine line between somebody's throwing batteries at you or saying, let's say, even go further than that, let's say they're using racial slurs or highly slandering
I'll
you
take
or
it one step
insulting you.
further, Color. I'll take it one
that's
step further. I think it was a Raiders game and it was the Battle of the Bay. I think after the Raiders game, I think a Raiders fan came out with a
Right.
gun and he started popping.
Oh wow, that's I
Wait,
mean,
whoa,
there
whoa,
you
whoa,
go.
whoa,
That
what?
Yeah, that was a
Yeah,
fan on fan crime though, wasn't it?
that's when the Raiders were Oakland Raiders.
right,
Yeah,
right.
that's fan on fan.
And the thing
He
of it
didn't.
is though is that the
Yeah,
you
those are
know
fans.
yeah
Did he kill
and
anyone or no?
but the thing of it is it
Oh
goes
no.
from when does it stop at these were physical attacks, but then this person over here is like, well, let's say these vitriolic slurs being then racial or just really vulgar or whatever. Well, that might escalate to where that's treated as, let's say, physical harm, or but then it graduates to now a reporter can't even criticize a player without being threatened to get up in his face when they're near each
Yeah,
other. You know what I mean? So
right.
so are we going to give, in other words, are we going to give this guy in San Francisco the same deference as somebody that had batteries thrown at him? Because I don't want
No,
it to get that far. If that's what it's going to evolve to, then I'm sorry, players, you got to take the batteries getting thrown at you, and the law enforcement is going to have to do a better job at enforcing the rules against throwing batteries at people.
yeah,
I
but
mean,
see that's kind of the problem right there. Because when I look at it, like I'll go back to 2004. Everybody can remember where Ron Artest and the Indiana Pacers went into the crowd with Detroit. See,
Yes.
the problem is that when that happened, we didn't see. It's been a couple years now. Like lately, now some of the fans have been throwing stuff or touching, like Chris Paul's mom, grabbing her hand or whatever. Like, and they're removing fans. That's not going to stop the problem. Why we didn't see what happened in 2004 with Indiana and Detroit? We didn't see that hasn't happened again is because the players did go and defend themselves. Like the only way things are going to change is, and it's sorry to say, I don't like to see that happen, but we didn't see it happen after that because people were like, oh shit, if we do this, the players are going to come up. Just removing somebody doesn't give the next
Well,
game
and
someone will do it
again,
again, just getting moved.
and real quick, Lewis, just to kind of further what I was saying, I wasn't saying just remove people. I'm talking about laws being broken, and the law
Prosecuting,
enforcement
I
needs to
got
do
you.
something. And you throw a battery at somebody in Florida, if you throw a piece of gum at a moving vehicle, it's a felony.
Yeah, it's a
The
felony.
charge is throwing a deadly missile at a moving vehicle.
Yep.
That's
You know what I
actually a
mean?
legit law. It's kind of crazy,
Yeah.
actually.
And so the one person I've known that's gone down for that when I was back in my younger days served a year in jail for that.
Jesus.
So, I mean, I'm just wondering if the word got out that Joe Schmo, who was throwing a battery at the players, got a year in prison for it, how many people would be continuing to do it?
I mean, that's a good point. Yeah. I don't know.
If it's breaking the law,
I mean,
then
it's not as if we're
obviously
talking
you got to
about,
prosecute him.
but it's not as if we're talking about the everybody that goes into a stadium is morally reprehensible. So, by the time enough of the few that are morally reprehensible go to jail, the other ones that have morals would never even think to do something like that in the first place, and the ones in between don't want to serve a year in jail. So, you know,
half of the time
Color,
they're drunk out of their minds.
Hey, Color, you brought up a good point with the kid from San Francisco, so I'll ask your opinion and everybody on the panel because, like, we always come up here and we criticize Tua. Not saying that we don't want Tua to succeed, but we have some criticism. So let's say Tua showed up on the panel right now and he defended himself. Like, I don't have a problem with what
if he was.
No,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say I don't have a problem with Kinlaw coming and kind of like defending himself. I wanted to handle it the way he did, and I wouldn't have probably threatened the guy. But I wouldn't have a problem that, let's say, if, like, because we criticized Tua, so I wouldn't have a problem if Tua came on this panel and told us that we didn't know shit, and he was defending himself. I wouldn't.
No, and I wouldn't either. The second he tells me to keep his name out my mouth is where I have a problem.
Exactly. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear
Hey,
you.
And to escalate further to threats, I mean, you get what I'm saying?
And the thing is, Lewis, I don't even think Tua will even threaten nobody. That would be so out of Tua's character.
I want to highlight a comment that was made.
Too, yeah.
I want to highlight a comment that was made because this is the exception. If this happened to me, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care what fucking laws happen. It would be all out war for me. Go ahead and highlight what Moss Sports Talk just put up.
Okay. Also on that thought too, if Tua or anybody, any player came on here and quasi threatened me the way that reporter would seem to have been threatened, I would have went to the law. Forget the 49ers and forget everybody else. Forget his public status and all that. I'd have went to the law. I would have at least filed a report. That way, if I'm ended up in a ditch face down somewhere, it's on record that I made this report.
Right. Yeah, you know who to come out there, right?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, but when he, like, and I'm not trying to defend Kinlaw neither, but like, we've all seen the video. That guy Cohen or whatever, when Kinlaw did make the comment, "Oh, well, my family knows what you look like. We all know what you look like." Like, that guy's response was, "Well, or do you think I'm scared of you?" Like, if someone, like, we keep saying he threatened that guy. Okay, it's a threat, but in the same token,
how do you take that? How do you take that, Louis? Be honest, bro. When somebody say, "I know what you look like,"
I understand, Q. No, no, it's a threat. What I'm saying is, if I tell you, Q, hey, me and my people, we know what you look like, and your response to me is, "Oh, Louis, do you think I'm scared of you?" Then you're coming back at me. You're not saying, "Hey, you're scaring me."
No, wait, I don't know, Louis. I don't know, Louis. It seems more like a.
Hey, I don't know.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's what I'm.
Yeah, you're
like,
gonna.
I'm just saying, like, if I threaten you, Color, and you come at me and say, "Well, I'm not scared of you." Because that's what that guy said.
To me, that's a reminder to somebody.
Nothing wrong.
To me, that's a reminder to somebody that I might do things to protect myself, like go to the law. Like that's a reminder to somebody that you're not above the law.
Okay, but that's your perception. But you could have, if that's what you wanted to say, you could have easily say, "Hey, don't disrespect me or don't threaten me because I will go to the law."
Louis,
that's not
you're
what
trying to say. You're trying to tell this.
Wait. The lack of articulation started by Kinlaw.
No, I agree. Listen, again,
Louis, you're trying to say that this man should have, been a bigger man. But you could also say the same about Kinlaw. He should have been the bigger man.
Yeah, one of them is making millions of dollars.
Again, but I take the money out of it. I'm not even talking about the money.
But see, that's where I think. But see, Louis, I think the money is an important thing. We all end up taking the money out of it because we say, "Oh, well, they're still human beings." No, there's human beings with tens of millions of dollars. I'm sorry, that's got to make a difference. Yeah. Maybe it's my perspective as a person who's always lived a poor life. I don't know. I don't know what it's like to have that kind of money. Maybe I wouldn't have a thick skin. But I tell you this much, I ain't gonna let some reporter, when I'm comfortable with my own skills and my own self, I'm not gonna let some reporter provoke me to the point where I'm making myself vulnerable by making threats to that person.
I agree. They do get paid millions at the end of the day.
They do.
I mean, it's precisely that he gets paid millions. Wait a minute. It's precisely that he gets paid millions that when he says to the guy, "Keep my name out your mouth, or else," it's the money that says, "Hey, maybe that or else might be real."
Yeah, but that's the same perception that we're having. That's the same conversation we were just having. Just because the money, like that's the argument. People get to throw stuff at people. Oh, well, they should take it because they're making millions
His
of
money,
dollars.
his money gives him the ability to turn me up face down in the dirt and get away with it. That's what his money allows him to do.
It's a 50-50 toss-up. I kind of see both, honestly. I feel that. I feel that. Like,
and agreed. And Lewis, in fairness to you, Lewis, I completely agree with everything you're saying. Like, you're not wrong in what you're saying.
Right? No,
you know what I mean?
And I agree
both
with
people,
everybody.
both parties share some responsibility.
It's a hard issue, really. It is. You know, it's gonna end up being like those bars in the Midwest where the local band, the entertainment for the night has to play behind cages. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what Moss was talking about earlier, and I wanted to comment on it, is in Mexico and some of the South American and Central American leagues, they're not as heavily, I want to say, strict on their fans as they should be, compared like they are here, and they unfortunately do crazy things like they've been found to be urinating in water balloons and throwing them at players, for example.
See that right there? That's a dude. I mean, that's
right
an assault.
That's outright an assault. Yeah.
Yes. And
that's
in fact,
an outright assault there.
In fact, how unregulated
and that one, I'm
is,
sure that one probably carries extra punishment for a conviction.
Well,
too.
that's wrong even in the U.S. Ali, you can't do that stuff here in the U.S.
Yes, you can. And then here's the thing. This happens in Mexican soccer leagues, for example. There was most recently an event between two Mexican teams that the fan base was so out of control, they had an all-out stadium brawl. It was a brawl that happened throughout the entire stadium. And in fact, and I'm not going to show a video, but you can find it on YouTube. There were some deaths, and it was very gruesome. I will say that, like, it's something you would see in a end of the world type of movie that you're watching. You couldn't believe it was real. But it was real, and that's the kind of stuff that happens. That's why they made rules, for example, in soccer when there's people making racial slurs, they stop the game. They threaten the game to be canceled and the team's forfeit for that kind of shit. You understand what I'm saying?
That kind of thing is punishing the wrong people. You know what I mean? Like, what is the team supposed to do? The team has just as much ability to do something as law enforcement does.
I understand, but at the same time, they're trying to make it a point to stop these things from happening. Unfortunately, they're not regulated enough. And I was just trying to explain, if somebody did that to me and I'm the player, I don't think that there's anything that could hold me back from trying to throw a punch or go after that person, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, in that case, I could agree. I could agree that there should be no, like, it should be a kind of a grace for the player, as far as if you're talking about getting sued for assault in you know, as a backlash or a retaliation or whatever, or the law enforcement, you know, because obviously at the point where the player's retaliating, there's going to be proof that they committed assault. Maybe there should be a grace. Maybe there should be a case where it's like sort of like a temporary insanity, you know, where it's like you got people throwing your bags of urine on you and you cold clock them. I don't know how you can be held responsible for that.
You know what I kind of blame on that, though? 50% of it is the emotions running high and the alcohol. Mix that all in together with the anger. It's just
there again, though, Ice. I know, I see what you're getting at, but
but then it has
never. Well,
it's actually
go tell Corona in Budweiser that they're not going to sell alcohol at football games.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I know.
You know?
at 33.3% of it, because I think it's three different things. Yes, those two things you mentioned, Iceman, could be involved, but I also think the government of those places where these games are being held are basically not doing their duty of protecting the fan
Yeah.
base as well as the teams. This isn't just one incident. This happens on an annual basis every time certain games are played in their countries. You know what I'm saying? And you can go in the chat and see what Moss is talking about. That actually happens more often than you would think. In fact, it happens here in the U.S. The only difference is that if they get caught, they go after those people. Whereas
Right.
there, they don't. You don't know what
Yeah.
happens. They may nothing. They might not do anything. They
Right.
bring in soldiers to hold fans up from the field, but they don't really do anything to really stop them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying? That's kind of where I think it's three different aspects. But yes.
So real quick,
everybody has- go ahead.
Tony says, panel, you guys felt that Kinlaw thought this guy Grant Cohen was two-faced. He was all happy-go-lucky in front of his face, saying positive things to him. But when he gets on his channel, he starts saying negative and criticizing, saying his play was horrible during the season. Okay, Anthony, and I'll give an opinion on that. Though that's a reason to never give the guy an interview again. That's a reason to revoke his press credentials inside the building. That's not a reason to threaten him.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
what we
but
do
but
for
but
sports sometimes.
but in return, like Color, and I'll just ask because I don't know. But let's say that is the case, and Kinlaw just don't want to talk to him, don't speak to him, and that he asks Kinlaw a question, he don't answer. Can the 49ers or the NFL give discipline and fine Kinlaw for not? Because ain't you supposed to answer questions? Because if that's the case, that goes back to the money point. Like, so if Kinlaw just decides, hey, I'm gonna be the bigger person, then I answer the question, but now I'm still gonna get fined, and they're taking away money. Then I mean, what's the point? What's the difference if I threaten them?
Then I think it comes down to, well, I've heard reports that the team actually is behind Kinlaw, but at least the locker room. But that's where it's incumbent upon the 49ers to revoke this guy's press credentials and get him out of the building. And if they're going to back up the player, that's how they need to do it. If they're not going to back up the player, if they don't think Kinlaw was right, then it's done for him anyway. You know?
Yeah.
And since they didn't cut him right away or do something with him right away, it seems like they are backing their player up, and the proper way to do that would revoke the guy's press credentials for the 49ers building.
Well, Color, he doesn't have the big old type of power who can get coaches and people fired who you don't like and rant and rave about.
That's a big take. Did Big O get Flo fired?
That's it, Big O. That's it, Big O.
Let's go. That's exactly.
In that case, Kinlaw's just going to have to invoke the Marshawn Lynch or emulate Marshawn Lynch and just, you know.
I'm just here to sit here so I don't get
flippant
fined
with his comments or say no comment, you know.
Oh man, that's crazy. That is really crazy. Bryson, what else you got?
Or he could, wait, real quick. He could turn around fair play. He could start criticizing Cohen's journalistic abilities, which I think he did on that when he confronted him. You know,
absolutely.
Yeah. That will be,
Omar,
pull a Bill
goes on to
Parcells.
Big O shows.
What you say?
These people could say these people like Kinlaw. How many followers does he have on let's say any given social media platform? He could easily tell those people, look, I'm going to block every single one of you if you don't unfriend this guy. He could. I mean, there's lots he could do to turn it back around on the guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's the one with the access, right?
He can do that. Yeah.
Create a burner account and slander him. He's, how would anybody know? Now, I'm not suggesting anybody do that.
That will be the Kevin Durant. That would be the Kevin Durant.
I can think of 1,000 other things that preserves the value of human life besides threatening him the way he did. I just don't understand. It's a game.
He had options.
And for him, it's his
Everybody
life.
had
For him, it's his life. But if he really is as good as he believes he is, what does he care what this guy says? Does he think? Does Kinlaw think? Does Kinlaw think that the 49ers are reeling through all of the beat reporters' statements about their players and going, "Oh, that guy's got a point." Like anything Cohen is saying, the 49ers have already mulled over in their building themselves.
That's not the case, Color. They see him in practice every day.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I definitely hear your point, and I think everybody has good good points.
It's sort of like, Ali. It's sort of like I said early on about Tua, or about Tua-neers, I should say, and what bugs me a little bit about them. No offense to them, but they act as if what we say, our criticisms of Tua, when we say them, they act as if we're going to speak those failures into existence.
Right.
As if somehow our visualization is going to affect reality, or that Tua is listening to us somehow and being affected by our words.
I don't know if it's that. I think it's more just they're upset.
Yeah, that is crazy for Tua to be affected by our words.
Listen,
At this stage of the game, it's no good.
I want to address something because some people in the fan base don't know, or there's people I've talked to in chat that don't really know about this. So, in the Tua fan base, there are two different Tua fan bases, right? There are the Alabama fan Tua-neers that came from Alabama, and that's where you get kind of crazy with the hype with Tua, because those fans, no matter what you say, we're wrong and they're right. And then we have Tua fans that do understand that there are opportunities, let's say, for him to get better, but they still support him. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not the same. So I have to point that out there, because I had someone message me on a different format who's watching that said that, what is a Tua-neer? He asked me the question.
Oh, I see. Real quick, Anthony is kind of adding on to his point, but the issue with that, though, is can't some of these reporters then go to the NFL and complain, saying the team revoked their press credentials because a player was complaining? Absolutely not. The NFL has no control. That would be like saying, what if a reporter was leaking playbook information? That team doesn't have a right to get that reporter out of the building?
I don't even know if they have a legal case, do they?
What do you mean?
Well,
like the NFL?
Well,
to do that?
Like, no. For example, let's say I revoked their pass, their press pass to do their
there's
job.
no obligation.
But it's also tied to
you. No, but there's no legal obligation for me to let you cover my life. If I've opened my life up to the public, I can choose anybody I want to cover my life. The rest are paparazzi.
Yeah, we all know how that one worked out. Just ask Princess Di.
Unless there's some kind of contract or some kind of agreement with the league and the individual franchises that says, no, we have to approve of you firing or revoking the press credentials of a press guy. I mean, what if I just didn't? What if a Patriot? What if a guy grew up in Boston, huge Patriot fan, journalist, comes to be a beat reporter for the Miami Dolphins? And do you think the Dolphins shouldn't have a right to say, no, we don't want that guy covering us?
Let me ask it this way, and audience, just please understand, I'm not trying to go on a political subject at all, because I don't really like to talk about that here. But wasn't there a press person in the White House that got their press credentials revoked, and then they had to go to a lawsuit and all that? So what is the difference in that? Is it because it had to do with the president? Is that what the difference was?
Being in the political realm, they were probably going more after a violation of the First Amendment.
Okay, so there is really not the same right.
I would guess. That's just a guess on my part, because that's the public sector. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but in this situation, you don't have those similar rights that fall along under that, or I mean, I'm just trying to understand it because I don't know.
Well, why would it? It's a private league. Why would they? Other than what laws are on the books as far as discrimination goes, that's like saying, okay, well, so now is being a reporter a protected class? I don't think so. I don't think journalists are.
The media is.
No, they're protected as far as the First Amendment goes.
Yeah.
So in other words, the 49ers can't hold, they can't sue Cohen for anything he said.
Right.
But how could they not revoke his press credentials? I don't understand how that. We have freedom of speech too, and freedom of the press.
49ers.
What does it take, Crypto? Right, that's what I'm saying. What does it take? Me just saying I'm part of the press to get the credential?
I think there's an application you have to fill out, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a fluid situation.
Right, but that's what I'm saying.
When that was drawn up, there was no such thing as social media.
And to Ali's earlier question, if what you're talking about is drawn up by the league as a universal, standard or protocol for all the franchises, then yes, the league would have a little regulation over who can be granted, press credentials and who can't be. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe the league has already taken it out of the franchise's hands. I don't know that. I'm just looking at the 49ers as an independent corporation, which they are.
I think beat reporters fall under their own purview, and the average.
Put it this way. Would Steve Jobs have the right to control who has press credentials in one of his big speeches? What if the press guy was from Microsoft?
I know in a different example, Dana White didn't like Ariel Helwani, and he took his press credentials. I mean, it's a different situation, but it has happened.
I don't think it's any different than the Patriots banning Tom Brady's trainer from the building. And no, I wasn't hinting to anything, Nick. Don't even start.
Hey, can I
I got another crazy take, by the way. Go ahead.
What was that, Lewis?
No, I was going to change the topic too. I wanted to see, did anybody see, because I've been hearing a couple people that had a problem with Solomon Kinley. I guess he had an 8 to 10 minute video where he was showing formations that we were running, and everybody was up in arms about Solomon Kinley. Oh, he should be thrown off the team. He shouldn't have shown that video, blah, blah, blah. Well, then a day later or 2 days later, there's another video that comes out. We're in formation. But Tua makes a pretty good pass to our rookie receiver, Eric Izakama, and no one had a problem. I haven't heard anybody come out and say, oh, well, we're showing that film. And I just thought, my opinion, I thought it was because Tua, made a good pass. Everybody was like, oh, we'll show this one. I didn't hear no one have a complaint about showing formation on that play.
Here's something.
Good point.
Yeah, here's my opinion. Here's my opinion on that.
That's a good point.
Whatever they showed in those videos don't mean anything. And let me tell you why. It's already came out from Coach McDaniel himself. They haven't been provided everything. They haven't even been given the full playbook yet. They've been given the basics. Right?
Yeah, that's just
something could be completely different. Right? Yeah. The whole first couple days of OTAs and everything, and even the rookie mini camp, it was all on fundamentals. They that's all it was.
Shame on you if you're still using this going into September. That means you ain't got no kind of versatility whatsoever.
Yeah, so I don't. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Ali. I completely agree with you. That was my point. I don't care what they show out here. At the end of the day, I think me and Crypto talked about it the other night. You got to stop us anyway. With the athletes that we have, you got to show me you can stop. I don't care if you know what I'm doing.
Look, people can go to
the. You got to line up and stop me.
Here's the other thing: people can go to the training camps and see what we're practicing every day. That's the same thing. Who cares that he showed something? It's nothing, and anybody can't see when they go to the training camp to view it in a public setting. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
The stuff that you have to be worried about is the stuff that you can't see in the public setting, that you see behind when they go into the indoor dome, bubble field, if you want to call it. That's the stuff you need to be worried about. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
things are fluid, even on game day. They don't know what terminology you're going to use for each play. Because you could just change the terminology That could mean something exactly. That could mean something different for that particular formation.
Yeah,
So
and
even if I handed you, Ali, my entire playbook and say, good luck, we just changed the terminology this past week or this
No,
last
and
2
even
hours.
if nothing that they're doing right now is even along those lines. They're like
Right.
they haven't
Yeah.
taken a snap together in how many months. It's about, hey, go out there and do a 48 dive and let's see, let's
Now,
gel. You know what I mean? It's
what we
nothing
have
that we're even
heard,
going to be looking at.
what we have heard though, and this has been reported by a few players, is that the schemes that they're looking at in the playbook are all in some cases similar, but a lot different than what you see the 49ers doing as well. So that that can be
Again,
said
there's
right
only
there.
so many
So,
ways you can break up a 50 or a 100-yard field with 2 hash marks in the middle. There's only so many ways you can break it up. Because, so
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. All this stuff, all this vanilla stuff, it's just that's exactly what it is. It's vanilla. There's
Because the
no
play
even
call is
purpose
going to
of
be different.
there's no even purpose of structuring that stuff yet.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
care if they know the
Lewis,
opponents
that's
know our
actually a good
formation.
subject. I'm glad you brought that up. I
Because
got another crazy take, but go ahead, Crypto. You go first, and I'll give you mine.
no, 'cause I was going to add to it. I was just going to say, hey, listen. Back in the day when the Chicago Bears had Walter Payton in the backfield, Mike Dicker didn't give a damn about whether or not you had their offensive playbook. He said, Walter Payton's about to get the ball. I dare you to stop him.
Right.
Same way for Barry Sanders.
Same with Emmitt Smith.
Wayne, okay, I dare you to stop our guy. Number 20 is
Right.
getting the ball. Good luck.
Right.
I'll hand you our
Does
playbook.
anybody here think that Emmitt Smith wouldn't have run right through a defense whether they had the playbook or not?
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
That's true.
At the end of the day.
I
Yeah.
mean, we all saw Dallas after 4 or 5 years. Everybody technically did have the playbook, and Emmitt Smith was still busting through the hole and with no problem.
Right. Exactly.
Barry
Right.
Sanders.
It's not like Dallas changed anything after 3 or 4 years with Emmitt Smith. Because they're starting to figure it out. No, he just hit the hole before anybody even knew he had the ball.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what was this? He had the cleanest jersey in the history of the NFL. Emmitt Smith. I mean, that boy jersey never was dirty.
I mean, he would hit the hole in a shorter period of time than Tua had to throw.
Yeah, he was that fast. Yeah.
So here's my other crazy take. You ready for this?
Yeah.
So my crazy take is after the June 2nd releases and cuts and everything, sometime before camp, Baker Mayfield is going to get traded to the Giants, where he and Saquon Barkley are going to make the Giants a dark horse wild card.
Ooh.
For the wild card. What do you think?
I could see that. I could kind of see that because given that East, that NFC East that they're in, that could be a little tighten it up a little bit for the Cowboys and the Commanders, and the Eagles make that division a little more interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Color mentioned there's only really in the NFC, there's only maybe 3 teams right now. There's 49ers, you got
above the rest.
The Bucks.
You got the Rams and Bucks.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say I'm iffy on the Bucks. I'll tell you why. Brady may have come back, but they recently their coach is changed, right? They have a new coach now. Am I right? Adrian's gone.
Yeah,
right?
it's Todd Bowles. Yep.
Gronk doesn't know if he's going to come back, and we all know Gronk has always been Brady's security blanket. All right, and I just can't see him winning and going to, a Super Bowl again without Gronk being there.
So that all being said, what team do you guys think in the NFC is going to prove us wrong? In other words, which team is going to actually be better?
I think
the Lions,
Cowboys,
and I also
think it is going to be Cowboys. I agree with Iceman.
I'm still on the Lions. I wouldn't bet on the Cowboys.
They got to prove everybody wrong.
The Lions could win their first playoff.
I like what the Eagles have done. I think the Eagles are going to be the dark horse in that division.
Yeah, Eagles. I could see.
I do like AJ Brown.
So you basically expect them to repeat, Lewis?
I think I think the Eagles win that division. To be honest, I don't like what I think Dallas is taking a step back. I don't
agree.
like the moves. I think the
agree.
Eagles take. I think the Eagles take that division.
Take the division, yes. I
Wait,
say
So
I
you
agree.
don't think a healthy Dak Prescott and
I think Devontae
CeeDee
Smith,
Lamb
the
can
Slum
do it?
Reaper, gets 1,000
and
plus
that
yards
defense,
easily.
Dallas's defense is very, very. Don't sleep on Dallas.
Yeah, don't sleep on that defense. I mean, they what
Don't
defense?
forget they got AJ
Yeah,
Brown
they
too.
did have a good defense. They did.
They got
Eagles have
Trayvon.
AJ Brown. Eagles have AJ Brown.
Devontae Smith.
Yeah, with Devontae Smith.
I
and
think the
I'm not
Eagles
as
got
high on
better,
Devontae
And then they
and the
just got
Cowboys got
Brown.
worse, though.
I mean, they have
Yeah, I
James
think that's what I'm
Bradbury
saying.
and Darius Slade as
Yeah,
corners as well.
that defense for
the
Dallas.
bread and
really
butter
hasn't
of that
changed.
Philadelphia Eagles team is the offensive line.
Yes,
Yeah,
That's
I agree.
basically
I
it.
agree.
They got a
Yeah.
solid
Well,
Lane
offensive line.
Johnson, Brandon Brooks, that guy Isiaka, whatever his name is from
And that dude from from
They got some
Australia.
good ones.
Jason Kelsey. Excuse me, my bad, Jason Kelsey.
Jason Kelsey. That's the guy's name I couldn't
Jason
think of
Kelsey.
earlier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Jason
Sorry.
Kelsey.
Thank you guys, man.
Didn't the
Good
Eagles
stats,
just
but-
pick up? Didn't the Eagles just pick up a corner too to match up with Darius Slade?
Bradbury.
Yeah,
They
James
got the guy from the
Bradbury.
Giants.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But they need linebackers.
Yeah,
They have
James
no
Bradbury.
linebackers. Ever since they got rid of Jordan Hicks, it's been a downfall for their linebacking core. So I don't know
Yeah.
who their linebackers are.
But I think they just didn't they get Dean in the draft? Kobe Dean?
Mm-hmm.
Did they?
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
think maybe. Well, did
I-
they?
They did.
The
I
Eagles
know
had a
they
good
grabbed a
draft.
They
linebacker.
did get Dean. They did.
They did get Nakobe Dean.
I'm gonna be
So
the dark horse.
Who did?
I like that.
Green Bay
I like
got
that.
no, not Green Bay. Who got Nakobe Dean?
I think it was the Eagles.
Wait,
The Eagles.
I think you're right. You're right. The Eagles.
Eagles.
Yep.
The Eagles are going to be strong, man. I
Yeah,
think
I
Dallas
like
is
the
going to
Eagles.
take
They're
a
gonna be
step
pretty
back.
good.
I mean,
Yeah.
Washington Commanders too. They have a strong defensive line. They have Jonathan
Yes,
Allen. They have
it's
Marcus
gonna be
Sweat,
interesting. The Commanders and
Young.
Eagles gonna be the battling out for that division.
Maybe
Eagles
the
and
Commanders,
Washington.
but I give Green Bay a better shot than the Commanders. I know they're not in that division. I'm saying just in general in the NFC.
Well,
I think
you could
know,
pencil in
right.
Green Bay to win 13 games and
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers to bow out
Right.
sometime in the
Of course.
playoffs.
What happens? What
Of
happens?
course.
What happens? What happens if Green Bay has a bad year? Because remember, Devontae gone. To call what's his name? The other wide receiver's gone. Valdez Scantling. So it could be for the first time.
Yeah, but they
players
got
can-
Watson. They got Christian Watson in the draft, so he's going to be
Hurd.
pencil him in.
I think
Pretty
Rodgers
good.
gonna be good. I think he's gonna
And
be
here-
good.
Here goes
Yeah.
another
Who's he
crazy
gonna throw
take.
to?
We keep. I'm just going to answer that question. Here's a crazy take. I think OBJ before the start of training camp is a Green Bay Packer.
I could see that.
Yep.
Hey,
I
that's
can
not
see
crazy
that.
at all.
Ooh.
That's not
There you
crazy
But
go.
at all.
I could
There
also
you go,
see him
Louis.
coming to
That's
the
a good one.
Dolphins, though. I could also see him coming to the Dolphins, though.
Who,
Oh, that's
A-Rod?
real crazy take there.
Yeah, no. It's more realistic.
Have we talked
than
about
you
the
think.
Saints?
No,
I
we're
think the Saints have an opportunity.
No, they got Jameis. I think they're gonna, and they got Taysom. That's
Oh yeah. You know, Bryson, I thought about that too. Yeah. I wouldn't doubt. I wouldn't
They
throw
got a
them out
great
either.
wide
I mean,
receiver
the
core
Saints
now,
do.
I
especially
said
if
it, and I
MT
said it.
stays healthy.
Yeah, and I said it the other
Chris
night.
Olave is
As long
on the
as
squad now.
yeah, and as
They just
long
got-
as Kamara is still there,
You know what? The
you know,
NFC might surprise us this year. They might have a couple of a few 11-win teams this
Do you
season.
think,
Wait.
really quick about the Saints, real quick, do you think playing on a dome versus a real field makes a difference with a player?
Yes.
to their
Okay,
their secondary.
Well,
I don't
absolutely.
think
The
Olave has
hands-
ever
You know-
played in a dome. That's what
The
my reason is. I'm kind of worried about that.
He's
for
going to
them.
be faster.
He could be
He's
faster,
gonna
but
be
he could
much
get
of
a
a
lot. But he's been pretty good with being. We try to say the best. One of the best tangibles is your availability and always being available. I'm worried that may come to an end for him playing on a dome, on an
Wait,
AstroTurf.
we're talking about Aaron Rodgers, right?
No, they don't play on that
No,
show. They
Olave
changed
for
that,
the
Ali.
Saints.
Okay.
They gotten rid of that. They outlawed that. They play on this next.
I just
turf
don't
stuff
see
now.
how. I
It's
just
still
I
it's
can't
fake
imagine
turf.
New
It's not
Orleans.
real.
It's not what you artificial.
I hate
like
that
you
turf.
think it is.
That kind of hurts, bro. You could bleed from that. Not gonna lie. That's kind
Are
Given
you
the-
talking
given
about
the-
the stuff that the Seattle Seahawks have? Is that what they have now
Yeah,
in New
yeah.
Orleans?
With the
Okay.
Seattle,
I got
yeah.
that.
That's
Yeah,
Well,
okay,
and
I think I
given
know what you're talking about.
given that the New Orleans has a serviceable quarterback back in their from back from injury, I can't imagine a team like that with Alvin Kamara on it that still wouldn't be a contender.
Wait, is Alvin Kamara
Yeah, we
still
still don't know
playing, or
about
is he in
Kamara though,
jail?
because
Yeah,
he got
isn't he in
arrested
jail?
in the offseason.
Yeah, he
There
might.
is a
Oh,
pending
does he have some?
litigation.
Does he have
Yeah,
some?
he has
That's
something
right.
coming up.
I forgot
Yeah.
that he has a
Yeah.
couple games he's gonna miss. Okay,
Yeah.
so I mean,
Well, did they already suspend him or no?
Wait, Mark
did they?
Ingram.
Does anybody know? I was gonna say, does anybody know if they re-signed Mark Ingram?
That's what I was saying. Like, I thought they still have Mark Ingram. I thought.
Because I think they used
Yeah.
him. I
I
think
don't
that they
know.
spared him enough last year that he's probably still got enough left in the tank
Well, they have
to,
Tevin
Yeah, but
Coleman.
he's
to be
no Alvin
himself.
Kamara.
No.
Well, I don't know though. They were trading off there, Bryson, that 1 year, man, for a little while. You know, like as far as
Yeah,
their skill
but still,
sets are a
Alvin
little
Kamara,
different.
he's just
Well, what I mean is their skill sets are different, definitely.
for
But
sure. Yeah,
in their role, they both were definitely showing out. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Is Michael
Is
Thomas?
Lata-
Oh,
is
go ahead, my bad.
Latavius Murray still with New Orleans?
I think he's a
Yes.
free agent.
Good question.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I'm
he's
gonna
still
check
with
that
them.
out. I'm gonna
He's
check
still
that
with them.
out.
no, I
Here, I'll
think
just
he
pull up. I'll just pull
Wait,
up
is it?
New Orleans'
is that who went
roster.
to the Ravens? Somebody from their secondary went to the Ravens.
Oh no, Latavius Murray did go last year. He got traded last year to the Ravens. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Sorry.
you're right.
Yeah.
But they have but they have Honey Badger now.
They do have
And
Honey
they have
Badger.
Jarvis Landry.
Yeah.
Jarvis
Michael
Landry.
Thomas coming back. Yeah.
No, that's
They
good.
don't
That's
have an
good.
offensive line though. They lost their big time left tackle, so I don't know what they're
Yeah.
gonna do on that front.
I mean,
wonder
they
how
have
he
Ryan,
went.
they still have Ryan
Oh.
Ramsey, but that's not enough.
Yeah.
Ryan
Yeah.
Ramsey's not enough.
Yeah, we'll
Let's
see.
I
see
think
here.
they've addressed that in the draft.
I'm glad that we took Tehran. I'm so happy about that. Honestly, the big splash.
Here's a crazy take, and not on this panel, but on other panels. Armstead's gonna play more than 14 games.
Oh hell yeah!
I'm gonna tell you right now, he's gonna play more than 14 games.
I
We
hope
only
so.
need him. We only need him
Yeah, we need
to play 13 to 14 games. To be honest, we don't need him to play the other 3. But I honestly think he's gonna play more than 14 games, like almost the full season. If he misses week 17, I don't care.
So
at
you
that
saying
point.
Austin Jackson can move over to that spot?
I think Austin Jackson is going to either be a guard or the right tackle in this system.
I see
That's
that
what I
right
think.
Yeah,
tackle.
but if
I
Armstead
agree.
goes down, he might have to move over.
I
If
mean,
that
we
were
have
to
Greg Little.
happen,
We
we
got
have
Greg-
Greg Little. Yeah, we
yeah.
have Greg Little still. Don't forget
And we
about
also
him.
have Terrell. His name is Terrell Newman or whatever. He's like a practice squad, so he's really
Yeah,
good.
Greg Little. Actually, I saw a picture of him at Tua's birthday, and he does look a lot more stockier. So he
Okay.
looks like he may have built some muscle. Have you guys seen Dieter? Man, Dieter looks like
Yo, he
big,
looks
dude.
By the way, guys.
Yeah,
By
he
the way,
does.
guys. Did you all realize that? What was I going to say? That neither Ian Book or Taysom Hill. Well, obviously we know what Taysom Hill's role is there, but Ian Book's not number 2 in New Orleans. If
Who is it?
Jameis Winston goes down, I don't think their season is necessarily derailed.
They got.
They
Ian.
got Andy Dalton now,
How many quarterbacks do they have?
Oh.
Holy crap.
I do not.
and
like
I mean,
him.
They
and
got
I get
Andy
it. I get
Dalton.
it. I get what you're
And
saying.
they're
I'm not.
good.
It's nothing to write home about, but he is at
Yeah.
least
Yeah, he
Jameis
could be
Winston's
serviceable.
level. Right,
Yeah, he could be
right.
serviceable.
Yeah.
For sure.
He did decent. for
So, in
Dallas.
other words, their season won't be
No,
derailed
he did awful.
necessarily.
Right, it's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't he make a couple of playoff runs with doing his team?
Cincinnati.
With Cincinnati, yeah.
Yeah, Cincinnati.
With
Yeah.
T.O.
So their
and,
running back room consists of Mark Ingram, Tony Jones Jr., Alvin Kamara, Divine Ozigbo.
Yeah.
I think that's their draft pick, ain't it? Devin Ozigbo, Abram Smith, Dwayne Washington.
Mm.
That's their running back room.
Bengals have.
And
been
they got a what's an SAF?
Huh?
I don't know.
The position says SAF.
Strong as fuck? I have no idea.
That's funny.
That's
But either case, it's a number 38, whatever that is.
That's the
His name-
strong side as fuck player.
right? Well, his name.
Oh man, I don't know what is that? That is a
No,
good point.
no, you're almost there,
Yeah.
Ali. It's not strong as fuck. It's stoned as fuck. Okay.
Okay.
Because the guy's name is Smoke Monday.
I like that.
Oh my God.
I swear to God, look at their
No way.
roster. I swear to God, look at their
What name is
roster.
that?
Oh man.
It's the
That-
name
that-
for a stoned as
listen.
fuck motherfucker.
So
That is-
here's
that is-
my
That is automatically right now Cutler's favorite player in the NFL. I
Smoke
can
Monday.
guarantee that.
That's right.
Let me ask you guys a question though. Let me ask you a question. Is that a real football name there? Yes or no?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's more of an
Hey, Color,
XFL
hey,
name.
hey,
More of an
hey, Color,
XFL name, but
Hingle
yeah.
McCringleberry.
hey,
Yeah,
hey,
that's
hey,
XFL.
hey,
Did they
hey,
actually?
Color,
Yeah.
is Smoke Monday better name than Skylar Thompson?
Oh, by far.
What about Hingle Mc? What about what about
Hey,
Hingle
you can't say
McCringleberry?
that. That
Well,
Thompson.
here. Well, put it this way. To my point about Skylar, Smoke Monday or Skylar Monday.
Sky up to the sky. Yeah, no doubt.
I mean,
Yeah.
Skylar Monday is terrible. I'd smoke Monday all day long.
I'll take
Now, wait a minute. Let me just wait till we see where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Now, do the same thing the other way around. Smoke Thompson, or you know what I mean, or Skylar Thompson.
Yeah. They both sound
Smoke
good, bro. I like them both
Yeah.
ways.
Skylar is just
Smoke
not
Thompson
a
is
football man.
awesome.
I'm sorry, man.
He could
Not
be a
a
dark
football
horse.
man. So I went to the main page.
That's a Super Bowl champion name, Teller. That's a Super Bowl champion name.
I just want the name Hingle
What is an
McCringleberry.
SAF?
Straight up.
It's on his main page too. SAF. He's college from Auburn.
As fuck, tall as fuck. I mean, I don't know.
SAF.
He's a rookie.
Strong as fuck.
Huh.
I hope I
Safety?
see that.
He's a safety.
Oh, why wouldn't they just put S though? They put S on all the other safeties.
Yeah.
That's weird. Let me look at what. Go to Javon Holland and see what it says for him. Is it just S?
I'm looking at their roster. It's just S everywhere else on their
safety's
roster.
free safety.
Oh, maybe it's strong and free.
Strong and free.
Maybe that's how they. Maybe that's
Oh.
how they express tweener now or something.
Right,
You know what
strong
I
and free.
I think you're right.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Strong and free. Yeah.
He's an army Swiss knife.
Or maybe. No.
Yeah, could be strong and free or something.
I'm still waiting for the day that we get to see a player named Hingle McCringleberry. That's so cool.
SAF stands for strong safety, it says. So if you're just a safety, you could be a free safety. So, but then again, wouldn't that be FS?
Every other, they have it on here too. Tyrone Mateo is an FS.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they just have S for Marcus May.
Wait, Marcus May is with them? I forgot. Wasn't he with the Jets?
It may mean safety and free safety, like strong and free. Like it could be that just may be what
The
a
only
tweener
other
means.
thing I can think of comes from my military days, Strategic Air Force.
Right.
Bro. I don't know,
That's
man.
crazy. I don't know. That's crazy.
He's the only one on the roster that says it. So let me pull up our roster and see if we have any SAS. Maybe by the name we'll know what they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Check Javon Holland, see what it says.
See if we got
Is Clayton Vigil still
What
with
about
them? Or no?
Jones?
I thought maybe it had to
Brandon
do with
Jones.
special teams, but I can't imagine what the A and F would
Who?
stand for.
Jones, the
Mike
guy we
Jones. Sorry, I took my shot, dude. It didn't come out right. I took my shot. That's funny.
Roster position. Let's see if we have any SAS.
Maybe they play linebacker and safety.
Yeah. It's the Swiss Army knife.
Every one of our safeties are just S. We don't even have an FS.
So that means we don't have any confused safeties. So we're good.
We're chilling.
Wow, no free safeties on the
And
roster.
that may be because McDaniels hasn't designated the difference yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or
it
they don't
could
want
be,
teams to know. Maybe they don't want teams to know.
Sure.
Maybe there's a Boyer Flores thing, you know.
We have a lot of corners,
We
bro.
just got safeties.
We got Trill Williams. We got bro. We got a lot.
Oh yeah, going on the subject, what Color was talking about, who's going to be the next corner to step up. I do think
That'd be
that
Noah.
Noah is going to step up this year. From what I've heard, not only from people around Noah, but hearing it from Sam Madison himself, I really believe in Sam Madison, what he has to say. Sam Madison is no joke. For anybody wondering, he's no joke of a developer when it comes to the secondary. He also, I have him as my dark horse. I feel when we move off of Boyer, Sam Madison is going to fill that spot. That's just my opinion.
That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah, I honestly think he can. And when I say that he took a secondary from 30th in the league to the 6th, that's not a joke. You can go check Kansas City's rankings when it comes to their secondary. They went from 30th to 6th under Sam Madison.
And look what he did with what's his name, Trejarius Ward or whatever with the Chiefs. Came from nowhere to a star.
Yeah, and you can't even name really any of the people that are on the secondary. I mean, you could have named Honey Badger, yes, but I can't even name anybody on their secondary. And I'm like, because that's who's on their secondary. So if they can get to the 6th, with our people, we should do more than that.
Sorensen's no longer there, right? He's with someone else, right?
Yeah, I think he left.
Yeah, I think he's with Bengals or something.
Wow.
They used to have Peterson, right? And they traded him to the Rams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then
So
he
he's
let
gone.
Jalen Ramsey let him know, hey, they traded you for me that night. I'll never forget it. They fought like verbally. I'll never forget that night.
That's some good stuff. Hey, Color, while you're looking that up, let's do the rundown because I want to get into final thoughts after that.
Sure thing. I'm going to have to research that further anyway because I can't find any information.
That will be continued on next week's
episode. And it may just be one of those typos or something, or the algorithm decided to abbreviate safety a different way. Who knows? But either case.
All right, so make sure you hit the like and subscribe. We have Tonk 7 on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. TMI Tuesdays, so check that out. We got color commentary on Thursdays, except sometimes it's cooler with cooler color, just sometimes. Then we have Ali's Late Night Exhale. That's right. I'm your host, Ali. Color's with me, too. Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we got El Capitano, a TFTG show. So check that out. We got... If you want to donate to the channel, we really appreciate it. It helps the channel out. The Cash App and Venmo, the Fence Tailgate. We got Fanatics. Get your Dolphins here. Q, you're on this panel. Get your Tua jersey using the link below, bro. Help us out. You can also get some cool merchandise right from the store here. They come in different colors. They have yoga pants. They have everything. Beanie hats. I like some of the color schemes with the hats. I might get a few, to be honest. So check that stuff out. So let's start from the bottom up. Lewis, what are your final thoughts for tonight? Did you enjoy Crazy Takes? Did you have fun? Tell us what you like. What's on your mind?
Ollie, thank you for having me on, man. It's been a great show, man. I love coming out here and just shooting the shit with you guys. I've said it plenty of times before. This is like the highlight of my day right here, man. Besides my family, man, you guys are the best, man. Just coming out here and be able to shoot the shit. It's the best feeling. It's the best thing in the world, man, especially with the crazy time we're living in now.
Yeah.
We appreciate you too, Lewis.
Definitely,
Lewis. You're a core group member, man. You're a staple to this community, bro.
Yeah, and I actually love the fact that we can come on this platform and talk about it. We may not agree on everything, but we can at least talk about it and find things out together about our team, and I really enjoy that. So definitely.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think you guys, both you and Color and Crypto might have been on the same stream. Like when we come out here and we fight, we scream, we cuss. I take it for me. You guys are my extended family, man. Like I told Color before, when we're in that Dolphin Stadium and we're sitting 60, 70, 80,000 deep, we're one, man. I'm there with all y'all. So it's the same way, man. This platform is great because I would like to think that I know everything, but I know I don't. So when I come and I hear other perspectives, man, that's what I appreciate, man. So just thank you guys, everybody on the panel for, listening and disagreeing and fighting and loving each other at the same time, man. It's great, man. So I'll leave y'all with
we
that,
absolutely appreciate your perspective too, man.
Definitely, Lewis.
Pleasure, man.
So much.
Thank you. So I appreciate all you guys,
Definitely
man.
a pleasure, Lewis.
Y'all be safe over the weekend, man, for real. Enjoy it, but be safe. And I'll catch y'all
All right, Lewis. You have a good one.
Yeah. Peace, man.
All right, man. Iceman, what's up, man? What you got for us?
Mine's gonna be short and quick. I think you know, guys, what I'm about to say. Go Miami Heat, and I'm out. Thank you for guys having me. That's it. That's all I want to say. I don't
Oh,
wanna
you're not
hear
gonna like what I
anything.
have to say. You're not
Yeah,
gonna like
man.
what I have to say.
Wait, tell me real quick. Go.
All right. So, how many games in a row? Who's won 2 games in a row in this series?
Sadly, Boston.
Boston's gonna win the series.
You think so?
I'm sorry, bro. Look, I'm a Laker fan, and it hurts me to say that, but I talked to somebody, and they broke it down. Whoever won 2 games in a row in this series is gonna win this series. And so far, the only team that did it is Boston. Now, is there a chance that the Heat can do it? Yeah, there's a chance.
Yeah.
I just don't know. Like prior to this series, prior to the playoffs, I don't think there was a team that stood a chance against the Heat.
You know,
But
you
now,
might be right, because the storyline could be Jimmy Butler worked his ass off and it wasn't enough, and they're gonna have to go get another all-star for him to get that help next year to make that boost. Because you're probably right. The Golden State Warriors, it's the 75th annual year. It's the 75th annual diamond year for the NBA, and also the logo of the Golden State Warriors has also changed into a diamond. So it's kind of very iffy.
Yeah, it's a
winky.
diamond. No, it's
another crazy take.
No, they're ignorant. That's ignorant.
Another crazy take, real quick, just to keep it short. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, you're good.
Another
Okay,
crazy
go on.
take. Jimmy Butler gets traded to MJ's team and replaced for his dad.
No, they're ignorant. That's ignorant.
Ooh. I wouldn't mind. I mean, damn.
Man.
You know those rumors about MJ being his dad, dude. So.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if Boston wins it, because they have been playing lights out, honestly, and Miami has been very lackadaisical. So you are right on that point. But if Miami it all relies on 3 people. Yes, Jimmy has to score another 40 plus, but Kyle Lowry and Tyler Hero has to
Kyle
make their
Lowry
shot.
did put up 18 points last night, I
And
believe.
tennis assists. He has to
and
do
then
that
he followed
facilitator.
out though. That's the only thing that.
That was the hurt part. But then Gabe Vincent came in and did his thing. But that's the thing, though. I feel like the NBA is all about history, like the NFL. I feel like they want Boston and Golden State, so that could be a 2 first-year head coach versus Steve Kerr, and then Steve Kerr could get his other NBA championship, and this would be also the 7th championship in Golden State's history. They have 6, so it's kind of 75 years 7 right there. It's kind of like wink wink. But either way, I want to say thank you guys for having me. Everyone, peace out to Q. Everyone to
Mars.
Everyone, Lewis, Color, Ali, everyone.
Take it easy, brother.
Everyone in the chat, and I'm out.
Have a good one, bro.
All righty, Ice. Get out of here, buddy.
Man.
All right, Q, my man, #1 Dolphin fan right here, everybody. Donate to the channel so we can get Q a Dolphins jersey. All right.
On that topic, bro. On that topic, I don't know Tua personally. I would be lying if I said I do know him, but his village is not too far from here. I know some people in his village and their family. So I'm trying to work, something out, trying to get a signed jersey from him. So, my first ever jersey. And maybe I'll check out Fanatics for my second jersey, But
So we have
#1.
So we have exclusive footage of Q picking up his terrible towel and finding out that it is turned to a different shade of orange.
Yeah.
Let's see this footage. Let's see it.
Well, this is him. This is him picking up the terrible towel.
So childish.
Yeah.
He's just playing. It's funny.
Love you, Q, man.
Yeah, I'm glad that you made the smart choice, man.
But thank you for having me, bro. It's always a pleasure up here.
You're always welcome, brother.
Even though it's always 1v3, but come one, come all. I don't back down.
now it's no
I don't back
1v3,
down, bro.
man.
I'm home, bro.
You joined the nation's largest army, man. I'm telling you, you don't have to worry about the 1v3 anymore.
I don't know about that.
I know it's 0 against 4 now.
That's true.
You're our force.
Do you guys remember when the Pro Bowl? Do you guys know when the Pro Bowl used to be played in Hawaii? You remember that?
Yeah.
You could have went there and hung out with Q, dude.
It was.
I know, right? That would have been cool going to the Pro Bowl.
It's right there next to the flea market, bro. Because the flea market is right there next to the Aloha Stadium.
Oh, really? Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's where U of H plays, right?
yeah.
I
That's the
think
only
so.
stadium they got down there.
Right.
Yeah.
Damn, that would have been cool back in the
Yep.
day. Any
Hey,
crazy
thanks, guys.
takes on the road? No.
Nothing, man. Nothing tonight, bro. You know,
Okay.
I'm for the home team. You know.
All right, man. All right, man.
All righty, Q. We'll talk to you
You guys
later,
have a
man.
good
Have a
night,
good
man.
night. You too, bro.
All right.
Crypto, you went 100-0 on my show. That was some breaking news. So, what do you got for us, man? Any crazy take at the end? Did you enjoy yourself? What's on your mind?
Yeah. No, I was gonna ad lib on the part about us, the death spiral that starts if we don't win the Patriot game. It stems from what happened to us when we went 1-15 to going 11-5. We won that key crucial game to start the season, and that perpetuated us to turn the season around from that one. So the opposite, I'm saying, can happen to us, where we turned it into an 11-win season from one because of a good motivation, a good win, a good quality win to start the season. You know, and I'm thinking a bad loss to start the season would be the opposite.
Crypto, you're sounding awfully jovial tonight, bro. Did you have some kind of were you hitting the punch bowl at the Memorial Day party?
Not yet. I haven't
Drinking
delved
some of
into
that
it.
Kool-Aid.
Because I think I've got exclusive footage of Crypto at the punch bowl at the Memorial
Let's
Day
check out
party.
that footage. That wasn't the one I was expecting.
That's my go-to tonight, bro. I like that.
No, I like the. I thought you were gonna bring out the oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
The Kool-Aid. Yeah. Here we go.
Oh yeah.
Stewie at the end.
I just noticed this Stewie at the end, man.
Yes,
You
dude.
gotta see it.
Oh yeah.
Oh
And look at Kool-Aid's expression when the bat hits his nuts.
Oh yeah. But
That's some funny stuff. Anyway,
that's
Crypto.
a good one. I think.
Crypto, my TV gets delivered on Wednesday, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
I'll have
man,
to-
that's cool.
I am the keymaster.
I am the gatekeeper.
They gonna come and deliver it through the top story window through the roof of your home. They gonna bust open the what's going.
Now with the company I get it with, depending on what type of delivery I wanted, they just bring it into the entryway, so they'll put it right into my house and then leave. I didn't want them to do anything else because I'm gonna mount it myself and everything. So there's a lot of construction I'm doing around my house right now, so it's kind of why.
Oh, so you're gonna mount it yourself?
Yeah. I set it on.
You said it was like 83, 85,
83
inch.
83 inch. So
yeah.
I'm actually gonna do. I'm right now. Some of you may already know. I'm actually building a full blown man cave. We're actually closing off our part of our open space plan of our house, and it's our old TV room, which is very long and everything. And I'm decorating, going balls to the wall with it. So it's going to be pretty interesting when it's done. I'll videotape and everything so everybody can check it out in the end. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Good deal, man.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I'll tell you more about it.
congratulations on it.
Oh, thanks, man.
Okay.
I'll tell you more about it.
All right.
Anyway.
Cool.
All right, Crypto.
All right, man.
Color, did you have a good time, man? You freaking right out balls to the wall, nuclear bombed everything, called out the Tuaniers. I'm surprised Tuanon didn't try to hack the show. You know, I mean,
I know, right?
that's
And
what
the
I was
great thing is,
expecting.
the great thing is, I'm still on hiatus, so they can't. How can they come after me? I'm off the clock. You know what I mean?
That's true. You're technically off the clock.
And they'll forget by next Thursday or next Tuesday.
Yeah. Next Thursday? Yeah,
Not trying to
okay.
say their attention span is short or nothing, but I'll throw out some good highlight videos of Tua throwing some really good balls, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, we forgot what Color said."
Yeah.
You know?
Did you see the new one, by the way? The new one, it does look like he has a lot more velocity on the ball.
Yeah, I've seen some. Yeah. I did. You're talking about the practice footage, or
Yeah, there's a new
just?
one that they just came out, where he throws it right up the mill, actually,
Oh
and it
yeah,
looks like
yeah.
there's a lot more velocity on the ball. I was like, wow, man, it looks
Sure,
pretty nice. Nice
and
spiral.
I did see the article that Tyreek was saying he was going to stop using the verbiage he's been using because he keeps going around saying that he thinks Tua has the prettiest balls and that he loves catching Tua's balls. He said he's gonna
Oh my
adjust
god.
his verbiage.
Oh god. Well, I knew what he meant, but still, now I can't unsee that color. Why did you do that to me?
I know, right? And it must be nice being a guy like Tyreek, where unless it's something like political or illegal or something, you
Yeah.
can't really clip him. Like, what are they gonna do? Clip him saying he likes catching Tua's balls? He's already made the joke about himself.
Yeah, I know. It's funny
So
though.
comfortable with yourself that you can be that way.
Hey, because Tyreek is coming out and saying that he enjoys catching throws from Tua, and he's
And he
thrown
said he
some really
enjoys
nice.
catching balls from Tua.
I know what he said, but you know what he meant. Do you have more confidence in Tua because of that?
Well, no,
No.
because you
Okay.
know me. I don't think statements about one person have anything to do with the greatness or lack thereof of another.
So
I do
you want
think
to
his
see it on the
ability. I do
you
think his abilities on the field can help to it.
but no,
Absolutely.
no, let me ask you this though. Do you think that okay, I understand that you have a big question mark on
No,
Tua as a
look.
player.
Let's be honest. I just don't think, and I'm not, and
Mhm.
there. Hey, there's nothing saying that given the same circumstances on a a relaxed afternoon where I'm catching his footballs, I might say the same thing about Tua.
Well, no, here's my question is like are you going to give Tua a chance to change your mind on the field?
I already am giving him a chance, regardless of whether Tyreek says what he says or not.
Okay, so you are no
And
matter what if
and
Tyreek
that's
says
the
that
thing.
or
And if I
not.
wasn't giving him a chance, so
Mhm,
to your question, if I was the type of person that was not giving him a chance,
mhm,
there's nothing Tyreek would say to me that would change that.
mhm,
And even if I was a person that has already decided to give Tua a chance, again,
mhm.
not one word that Tyreek says is going to change that.
I see what you mean.
Now that doesn't mean he's not. That doesn't mean he's not telling the truth or doesn't really believe what he's saying, or it doesn't
Mhm,
mean I believe he's lying. It just means that it's irrelevant to what I think about what Tua can do for himself,
mhm.
or whether I think he's changed or anything like that. Because I have to like I have to say, hey Tua, let's go play some catch.
Mhm.
Tyreek is a pure white. He probably likes catching balls from every quarterback. It don't matter. If you're throwing him the ball, he likes catching the ball from you. He's a pure wide receiver that likes catching the football.
Yeah, I think he actually.
I will literally take, you know, uh, look, it's I'll take the worst thrower in the world. I'll take a guy
Mhm.
that's never even picked up a football, teach him how to throw it in an afternoon, and have fun catching the ball from him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I kind of see that about Tyreek. He's always smiling, no matter who's throwing the ball to him or whatever. When
Well,
he's
if you
out there
really like
playing,
that
he's
position,
having fun.
speaking for myself, if you really like that position, you
Mhm.
really like doing it and have fun. No different than Tua likes playing golf. You know, if Tua can swing good with a golf club and then pick up another golf club and swing pretty good with it, he could say, "Yeah, I love swinging that golf club." That's all he can really say,
That's true.
you
That's
know.
true.
But that doesn't speak to anything about that golf club's ability to hold up from being bent or cracked over the long term or
Mhm.
whatever, you know. But I know that's all subjective. I'm
Yeah.
good with it. Either case, man. Thanks for covering me for Thursday night. You know,
Anytime, man. Cooler
you kept,
colors always
you,
here.
yeah, you kept us all in front of everybody. You know, you did a service to the community and to me, and I appreciate that. And
Definitely.
I'll go ahead and get out of your hair so you can wrap it up.
No problem. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming out again. Thank you so much for everybody that participated, came on the panel. when I say that this channel or this show is an open telephone for anybody, I mean it. Anybody can come on my panel and say whatever they want to say, get whatever they want off their chest. It does not matter. Please come on. Please participate. All right. I thank you, everybody that came on. Again, breaking news next Saturday. That's 1 week from technically yesterday. Technically it's Sunday. Next Saturday will be Bring the Smoke Saturday, right? So make sure you come. Make sure you invite all of your friends. Anybody, I don't care what team they like, bring them. Those are the people we want you to bring. We're going to show pride, let them talk smack. We'll talk smack. We're going to have a lot of fun. And I want everybody in the chat to come on the panel and talk to us. We'll swap people in and out if we need to. I want everybody to come on. So make sure you advertise it. Tell your friends that are from other teams, your aunts, uncles. I don't care. Tell them to check out the channel, like and subscribe if they want. And it's going to be a big fun time. But until then, thank you. Thank you for watching. And fins up, everybody. Have a great night.